We've got Taylor Tomlinson, who's a comic that's out there that I see a lot at the Comedy Store. I think she's had 2 specials. She's known out there, bubbling under, doing well. Some know her really well, some not as much. Was not on SNL, but we like to incorporate some upcoming stars of the comedy world. And we talk about SNL. We talk about a lot of stand-up stuff, touring, and about, interestingly enough, a specific subject. When you're on TikTok or Instagram as a stand-up now, they like to put their clips up from their special and stuff, but you don't want to burn material. So if you're out filming your act, you see a lot of these comics doing it. They do a lot of crowd work because the reason is, Dana, they don't want to burn their act. And so they say...
I like to repeat my act. And I like when the audience either looks bored or mouths the punchlines. I just keep it the same. That's me. But, I don't work much.
I like to start a joke and people go, not this fucking thing again. That's from your first special in 1980. And I'm like, yeah. And it's fucking good. And you know what? Journey does Don't Stop Believing.
Last night we worked at the Comedy Store. I went on, did okay. Anyway, David went on, and I was behind the curtain the whole time. And he's going, I go, no, not that bit. Oh, he's always rushing it.
Oh, God, that one still brushed the cobwebs off first. Holy shit.
He's doing Tom Petty, ladies and gentlemen. No, we made that
Remember the space shuttle when it blew up? That was horrible. But one thing was funny about it, and they're like, what happened?
The Menendez brothers. I mean, come on, killing the parents? What?
Kurt Cobain had blue eyes. One blew this way, one blew that way.
I am not a crook. I am not a crook. I usually lead with Nixon, I'll be honest.
So she talked about that.
I'm not up to date. I would tell you this thing about her.
Go ahead.
She's extremely bright. She's very thoughtful. She's a technician, a scientist, and an artist all in one. Her stand-up is just sweet, first-class stand-up. It's like fun to listen to something that's that thought out. Our stand-up is more ad hoc. I think you're a great stand-up, but let's face it.
You can bundle me into that. I don't mind.
But she was very fun to talk to. She's very...
quick on her feet.
Quick on her feet and has a lot of self-reflection, i.e. therapy, and thinking about her place in the world. And I think that's a part of her appeal, being funny and also very real in that way. And she goes places you don't expect.
Alhambra. Anyway,
Alhambra, she doesn't need a Dodge Dart. This is the king of used cars.
I don't know if you've been down to Cerritos Auto Square lately, but Dana, we should get them as a sponsor because I like to use them as a
I'll
reference.
talk to you later about that used car lot I think we should go in on.
Oh, D&D's jalopies.
D&D's jalopies.
It's not bad.
When you can't afford a convertible, it's a jalopy with a canvas top.
Anyway, here she is, Taylor Tomlinson. We're the worst.
Don't you feel this is like some kind of interrogation?
This is a very intimidating setup, I was going to say.
I think she's in the dark.
Your date of birth and first and last name.
Like in front of the step and repeat. Like I feel like I just came for a photo.
Yeah. We just really need a photo, but then we'll do this too. But it's really just about the photo.
Oh, yeah, the biggest, because the photo will trend. And the interview is just a throwaway. Look how prepared he is. Fuck.
You have like a couch up on some stairs. Is this like a screening room?
Yeah.
It's a movie theater.
That makes more sense. All right. I was like, this is a strange setup for a podcast studio.
This is a house that, the only one that had an interrogation room.
David did very well and invested very well. So David bought a really big house. David had a movie theater. We did a podcast.
Yeah.
I like that you demoted your movie theater to a podcast studio.
Well, I realized I wasn't watching enough movies in it, and my mom would just come in here and put it on Fox News on the whole screen and then just sleep. Yeah.
Just blow it up. Just Tucker Carlson coming at you.
What's going on?
Trying to do his laugh. Hi, I'm Tucker Carlson. Anyway, Taylor Tomlinson. Tomlinson. What is that? Scottish, Irish, English?
I don't know.
No idea.
I have no idea.
Next question.
Was I
Did you have
supposed
a
to look it up?
nickname,
I know
Taylor
I was supposed
Tommy?
to 23andMe myself.
In grade school, nickname? Taylor Tommy, kind of cool.
No, when I was coming up in San Diego, people would call me like T-Tom and like Double T and things like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Tom.
That's all I
All
got.
right, let's go to our next question.
No, that was supposed to be most of the
That
podcast.
was most of the... I have three
I have one
name
if she has
questions.
an accent.
People always ask me if I have an accent. What do I sound like?
I was looking at your clips and you sound like probably Ukraine. I mean, no, maybe I'm wrong.
I was thinking
Bulgaria.
Romania, but that's close. It's in the general Croatian vibe.
Well, I swear I watched.
What?
I was
People
watching
think you have an
clips.
accent, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you had an accent.
No, I grew up in California, but people always guess like Chicago or something. They guess
Really?
like Midwest. I think I just have a round face.
I do
Just your round
voices by
face.
I think I
trade.
look Midwest.
I do voices by trade. Just speak. Say anything.
No,
Peter Piper picked back.
Good to be here.
Chicago.
no,
I
that's
don't have
pretty
any,
good.
I don't sense any. You have a very neutral.
Well, you're both from California, right?
Yeah.
No,
See, so-
you're
that's what we're
all
supposed to sound
San Fran.
California is Northern California.
Right.
You were San Diego. So
Well, I grew up in Modesto, Escalon until I was like
Whoops.
9. And then I was in
What is
like
that?
Riverside County.
I just played the Fresno State Fair, and I asked who are the bottom feeders in the valley. Modesto's always a popular punching
Oh,
bag.
yeah.
Do you
No.
do that when you go to cities? Like,
punching.
what's
yeah.
the city they hate, and you just
Yeah.
work it?
Usually it's Fresno, though.
even if
So
you're in
Fresno hates Modesto.
if you
Fresno is an
played
easy
Nashville,
target.
what would it be?
I don't know.
Or
That's a
Miami.
good question. We moved like as the Lacey Peterson posters were going up.
You moved toward that.
From Modesto.
farther away
We
from
left
that.
Modesto when they were like still looking for her.
Whoa.
Were you
Yeah.
part of the hunt, or
I was 8, so they were like, we think we have.
your mom's like maybe just 2 hours a day for you to look for the killer? Scott was looking
and
for
you
the
have
killer.
homework. If you get all your homework done, you can look for the killer.
Yeah, I when I did Dallas, they go, this is my big opener. I go, a lot of pretty girls here from Big D and a couple of rough ones from Mesquite.
Mesquite is good.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah.
You can use it even outside of Dallas. I feel.
Bakersfield would be a punching bag.
Oh,
sometimes.
Bakersfield, yeah.
Bakersfield.
Yeah, I played Bakersfield. Ooh, I don't remember when. It was the last tour. And they were real rowdy. And I was like, Bakersfield, you're being exactly what everyone thinks you are right now.
Bakersfield,
And they
cool.
loved that. They were like, we know.
You
Yeah,
guys
they
are
are
too
rowdy.
Bakersfield for
Yeah.
us.
Do you
They're
just
a
go to
lot.
crowd work in that case? If they're just talking and drunk? I mean, what do you do?
I mean, they just like were yelling out, I think. They were like too enthusiastic,
Mhm.
which in a theater is hard because it's like so, you guys know, it's like it gets away from you so fast and you
Yes.
can't like make eye contact with everybody.
Yeah.
Or someone will yell from like the balcony and you're like, all right, what? And then they go silent.
Yeah,
and you're
they
like,
would. They want
okay.
attention, and I get scared. The first I was doing theaters this year, and I get scared because I don't make really any eye contact. Because once you do, you sort of forget your act. You're like, I get lost in what they're thinking, or they're texting or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Mhm.
when there's any pauses, people yell. It seems like that.
Oh, really?
yeah. There's like they
I think
yell.
you
and
might
they
just
wa-
be very famous.
They want
Wow.
attention.
I get stuff from 40 years ago. That's the problem. Church lady! I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just in the middle of whatever.
Oh, in the middle. After,
Characters, they yell out. They want to say, Garth!
after you've
Yeah.
done church lady, then they yell it later, and you go, I just did that. And
Why
then-
Garth said I do it? So I was spaced out. So Garth says, "Isn't that special?" You know, I get mixed up. Anyway, I'm not in shape. How many dates a year do you do? Because you seem really,
500.
really poised up there. I mean,
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go.
and do you
I
have when you tour? Do you have a name for it?
Yeah. we
What
got a
was the
name
current
for it.
name?
That's half
It's
the battle.
I know.
I love the name. You
Tell
have to
me that goddamn name.
You got, these guys are openers. It's a world tour. They call it the world
I didn't
tour.
put World Tour.
Half
no.
her phone calls our manager's going, what's the name of your special? What's the name of your
I know. They made me name my summer tour, which was just me doing clubs, working out to do. And they were like, "What's the summer tour?" And I'm like, "It's me in clubs. It's not a tour yet."
Taylor time.
And they were like,
Yeah.
"What about like new ideas?" And I was like, "Fine." But then people are like, "Is it the same show as the club show in September as if I go to a
Fuck
theater
that.
show in October?" And you're like, "No, my manager just made me name it a different thing."
Yeah.
The new theater tour is called the Have It All Tour.
I have it all tour.
The Have It All
The
tour.
Have It-
yeah,
okay.
not I Have It All tour. That'd be the worst. Just one more letter and I'm the worst.
My
Have It
last
All.
tour was called David Spade Drops By. I packed him.
Yeah, that's
Look at this, see his mind
No, I was
working.
just thinking that's what Sandler's when he's on tour, but a couple of us come by and do. He doesn't even need it on the marquee. He's already sold out. He goes, come by and do three.
3. That's
Do 3, get the light at 1.5.
What's
Whoa.
yours? What's yours name?
Catch me inside.
No one can say their tour name with a straight face.
It's funny because it's so dumb because that's Catch Me Outside from 9 years ago.
Wasn't Steve Martin and Martin Short? Isn't it "See Us Now Because You Won't Later" or something?
We're
like
too
that?
old for this.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's funny.
Our manager handles Martin to you guys. And
we love Martin.
and they said he goes, it's a tour. Doesn't that
Didn't
Kevin
Martin
Hart
Short have one? Or maybe it was a Broadway show. If I'd saved, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, that's funny.
They have the best titles. I would go just for the title with Steve and Marty.
Yeah, Catch Me Inside. I'll keep using that. Because then they go, in January, I have new tour dates. And they go, what's the name of that? And I go, I don't know. I don't want to, I'm not so familiar with it where you say, if I name it, is it a new hour?
I think so.
Can there be no jokes from the other one? I'm not from that school.
Mm-hmm.
I got 9 years between specials where I had the same basic hour. I just wrote a new hour and then milked it.
Well, that's not a milking sound.
Yeah, it is a milking.
That's like
a cow.
a raspberry sound. Anyway, do a guy going in, opening his car door,
I'll do a
and
bus.
adjusting his rearview mirror.
Here's a bus. Get in. Hang on. You walk up, I guess. He's grinding the gears.
Well, I have a character that I do in my stand-up called Sound Effecty.
Okay, go.
And it's like,
Better
he's
not
like,
bump with my
I
act.
went to open my car, adjusted my rearview mirror.
Fuck you. That's most of my act.
So he's intentionally really bad. I walked across the grass. It was really wet.
Slurp, slurp, slurp. Taylor's
Hey,
from
Sound
Orange
Effecty,
County.
Taylor Tomlinson or Tommy T.
Let's ask her if she's ever seen Saturday Night Live. Because
I've seen the clips on YouTube and TikTok.
By the way, this is our youngest person we've ever talked to.
Yeah, I'm very confused. I have a question. How did I get booked on this?
Why am I here?
Our average guest is
who do I
78
thank?
years of age.
Yeah.
Who do I thank for getting on this podcast?
The last three.
Which
We
member
need
of my
you
team?
more than you need us. This is big for us.
No, this is fun because
You
we
do not need our podcast. I've seen your special. You're good.
we do also stand-ups that audition for, or most stand-ups we like to find out if they were influenced at all by SNL or what they liked about it, because it usually ties into comedy in general. So we're sort of
because
branching out.
you're let's see, you born in what 90
2000.
2000
93.
So you'd be, let's call you 8 or 10 or 12, like early knots. You'd be like a Will Ferrell, Tina Fey.
That was your
Yeah.
pocket.
And who was
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
crush? Jimmy Fallon.
No,
Oh, did you love Jimmy Fallon as
no,
much
I
as I
think
did?
Jimmy Fallon was probably. I
He
think
was the
Jimmy
update
Fallon
co-update.
left
Oh, okay.
when we were watching it. Me and
Oh.
my friends.
So
I
then
could
the
be
update
wrong.
was
That's
Amy
not
and
why.
Tina.
Yeah,
Got
Amy
it.
and Tina. Yeah, I opened for them at
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
at the Netflix is a Joke Festival, and I fucked up so bad. I was so uncool. I was really lame because
you were nervous?
somebody at the festival. Someone wasn't available, I'm sure, and they asked me like last minute to do it. Not them, but just Netflix did, and I didn't think I was gonna meet them, and so I just like did my set, and I was like, great, it's fine. We're not gonna have to deal with it. And I went backstage and they were in the hallway and they were like, hey, great job. Thanks for doing this. And Amy's like, we were so glad you wanted to do it. And I was like, what? No, that's stupid. That's no. And she's like, no, it's congrats on everything. Hi, I'm Amy. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm Taylor, whatever. Like
God,
I
yeah.
was
Good attitude.
so uncool. And then my manager was like, let's take a photo. And then I'm sure they were like, we're gonna
So
go.
did you go, you want me to send you guys one? And you're like, no. Maybe
I
it
was
was
so
a mistake
embarrassed. I was
booking. Like this
fangirling
one.
Is
so
it
hard.
hard? Because you've become like you've blown up. Sorry, I didn't know. Were you going somewhere?
No, I said like a joke, kind of a burn. And then-
Okay. I was
Fucking mean
I
and
was
rude.
curious about when Taylor realized she was a star.
Yeah, what day?
Oh,
And maybe you haven't
Do you,
yet.
have it, go back to your diary, open it up.
I think it's coming. I think 2040 is what I'm hoping for. No, I was gonna say, as far as the SNL connection,
yeah,
I feel so bad because I've literally never wanted to be on SNL at all. Like I've listened to a lot of this podcast and I
Yeah.
love it because I think SNL is so interesting
Mhm.
and it's easy for me to enjoy anecdotes and fun facts about it because I've never had any desire to
All right,
audition or
this
be
has
on
been
it because
Taylor
it sounds so
Tomlinson.
Thanks for stopping
stressful.
by.
We will be back next week.
Time for one more question
With-
before we.
No,
Call
that's
her Uber.
interesting. But you were nervous around Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Yeah, no, I love SNL.
Well, they're
It's-
great,
it's-
yeah.
It's so nice to watch something that you don't think you can do.
It's less stress because if you're so horny for it, Dana, I have to say,
David.
we always say Dana fit right into SNL, and you might have had aspirations for it. It did not cross my mind, sort of like Taylor. But Taylor has done way more than I did at that point. Like I was at a point where I was so excited I got on Joan Rivers' show and Arsenio was hosting for her. And then I got on one of the last Johnny Carson's and hadn't done even Letterman yet. But at that mid-level where you're just starting to do stuff and get on TV, and then it came up, I would be stupid not to because I had nothing in my future. And so I go, oh, I could write for them. But to be on it, I'm not like a character guy. I'm kind of more like you in a weird way. Like I just do my stand up and I'm kind of, not one note, but I'm kind of the same persona.
That would be more of an update thing. Did you ever harbor desires to do
not Bill Murray, but I would be like a Bill Murray, not as good, obviously, but in the way that he's always kind of Bill Murray and everything. And then Eddie Murphy, all these other people, and it would just disappear and be like these big characters. That was tougher. So I kind of see what you're saying there. That's a long way of saying that.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
No, update was the only thing that ever looked fun
you could
to
do
me.
update.
Yeah, but even that, I like touring. I like being on the road, and I feel like you can't really do
Tina
that.
and Amy, if they're aware of your stand-up, they would really appreciate it, especially Tina, because she's such a writer. Yeah. You know, she's like, and your writing is so skilled.
Oh, thank you.
And comprehensive. You're like John Mulaney or something. You know, just that.
Oh, that's very nice.
Very comfortable watching you, and you just keep going in these different directions. And your act outs are great. I mean, you're playing characters a lot, like Mulaney, in your stand-up.
Taking
on
so
attitudes and things. So I've called Lorne, and he's on the phone right now. But you're like, if you were a sprinter, you got out of the blocks fast because you had a really cool special at age 25.
Yeah.
So that's unusual in the modern era, isn't it?
I guess.
To have a really good one.
I suppose.
They pass out specials.
Was it Netflix?
They pass out specials.
They pass out, anyone gets special. But have a good
stocking
special.
Stuffer.
But you had how do you compare your first one to your second one in terms of your evolution as a stand-up?
As far as like my experience doing it,
and how did you feel more confident in the second one? Do you think your writing was better? Or are they both melded together? Is it Rubber Soul and Revolver for a Beatle connection, or are they sort of? Is it
the
feel
Beatles? We don't know who the Beatles are. Me and Taylor.
We talk about things from the
like
60s a lot.
We're young.
We'll talk about James, Sean Connery and Paul McCartney a lot.
Old.
But we love having young people here.
So
anyway.
let's say this is true that you got a special 25. Let's just say that.
Well,
I don't know if it's
quarter
for sure
life.
true.
What's a quarter of 100 years?
Right.
There
now,
you go.
it sounds like it could be true. So you did that, but you must have been doing it. It says here since you were 16. So
this does feel like an interrogation.
Do you
Let's
feel
just
like
say.
No? Because I know
Let's just say that my research is correct.
We're going to accept.
So
this
let's say you
premise.
do it. But if you're 16, so you were probably pretty good by you must have been really good by 25. And then do you approach Netflix or do you just, it's kind of the thing where they hear about you, management, that kind of stuff?
So Netflix obviously they did those half hours. I think they did 3 seasons of the stand-ups, but they also did something called the comedy lineup, which is something they tried where they did 15-minute sets where they're like, it's a mini special. It's a 15-minute set.
Jesus.
But I did that, I think the year before, maybe like a year and a half or like 2 years before I filmed Quarter Life. And after that, I was like, well, let's, go back to them and say, I'd like to do a half hour on the stand-ups because that's the natural progression of things, I assume. And to my manager's credit, she was like, well, you're doing hours. Like, we're going to send them an hour and see if we can't get you an hour. And so they sent my hour that I was doing in clubs.
But I'm sorry, do you, this is my last thing I'll ever ask in the whole hour. When you do that, it would feel like to me, like when I did the first Carson, let's say, my only one.
How old were you?
That was my best 6-7 minutes. And then when you take that away, it's really pulling the rug out because for you to take out your 15, that's probably your favorite, and then to go to an hour, that's sort of crippling. It was for me to do one special, and then I wasn't from the school. I did an HBO one. It took forever, and it wasn't even talked about. I was doing a TV show or some maybe movies or something, so it wasn't really totally the number one focus. But now it feels like there is that pressure, or at least it's in higher rotation.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was like probably a year and a half in between taping that 15 and taping the hour.
That long.
Well, came up when I was coming up. It was like Louis C.K. does a new hour every year, and we were like, "Shit, okay."
Minutes.
Like, and with social media, like I'm like writing jokes just for social media that like aren't going to go in the hour, so that I can put up clips that will drive people to buy tickets to
see jokes they haven't seen.
And is that little video clips that you put on of yourself, not just writing?
Reels. I'll tell them after.
I don't
YouTube
do all this.
shorts.
I'm old and I don't
TikToks.
I don't do anything.
So you pick up a payphone and what do? You look at
when I saw you, Taylor,
video.
being of another generation, I thought, this is really, and Whitney Cummings has done it. It's sort of this extremely honest young person up there, a woman in this case. And I just feel like you're really talking to young women in such an honest, real way. And there's been others, but you're in that world of really delving into, I don't want to say it heavy, but you're just say anything. I mean, there's no barriers. You're not like a G-rated.
Other things you stay away from for sure, or because you seem pretty open.
Yeah.
I mean, I stay away from anything I don't know anything about. Like I'm not really like an observational comic. I don't really.
It's personal.
I'm not like up there doing current event stuff. Like I'm just talking about what I'm going through in my own life.
The personal stuff is
like
the easiest stuff not
person.
to get stepped on by another comedian. Like when all my jokes are about 7-Eleven. So it's harder because everyone has one, then I say they stole them from
I used to do an hour on Costco and Walmart, and there was so much overlap. No one could open for me.
By the way, I'm already laughing. It's funny. Costco's a funny fucking place,
Costco is
Dana.
funny because you go in and you can't get
Everything's
out.
big.
You have to stay in Costco.
Everything's big as mine.
Escape.
I tell comics when I'm on the lineup, I go, nothing about Costco. I used to have comics when I'd open for them, they go, hey, come here. Are you going for me? Nothing about Jeopardy, nothing about Wheel of Fortune, nothing about 7-Eleven. I'm like, well, of course. It's my whole act.
Yeah.
But I'm like, of course not.
I'm going to get a TV and a side of ham. Costco. So bipolar. So you brought that up in your last special. Do you like talking about it? And which Taylor are we talking
Do you
to?
like talking about it?
Isn't it fun?
Look, that's what I was going through last year. So that's what we did jokes about. Yeah. It's just, that's what I had going on. And I think I had a hard time with it when I first figured it out. And I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody. And then 6 weeks later, 2 months later, you write a joke about it. And
I got 10 minutes on it. Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I guess I got to do
Let's
this
get something out of this.
Yeah, for real.
It's true.
Let's write off some of these psychiatry
everything
bills.
in my life. My dad left me, and it was immediately in there because that was personal to me. And you're doing a funny spin, which that kind of stuff might have a tiny underlying sadness, but you have to do this line. There was some joke I was doing recently about being broke growing up, and I thought it was so hysterical. And then people were like, it's kind of sad. And I go,
you weren't.
So I had to look back on it and tweak it. I'm not broke now. No, who said that?
Huh?
No, I have money.
What was the sad part?
Terrified Taylor. Someone thought
because everyone
I was
goes, they had no money, even if they were a silver spoon.
He made like $1 million. And what is that? $1 million back then was only like 10
1,500 square feet, 7 people, one bathroom. Dad's a high school teacher. Do the math.
1,500 square feet house. 7
people in there, 5 kids, 2 adults.
Yes. Okay, you win.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a champion. But it wasn't that. There was a monster in the neighborhood, and it was called my dad. that I can't land. It's too heavy. So
no, but that same thing. So you're touching on that. This is what we're talking about, like bipolar, something very
darkness
personal,
and lightness. Yeah.
Dana goes to therapy. I've been to therapy.
I got into therapy at 60. You got into therapy at what age?
You're smart.
Oh gosh. I mean, well, my mom died when I was in elementary school, so I went to some like school counselor, and then I went to like a hospice support group, which was actually crazy because it was a bunch of kids, and they had us in. Like me and my sister went, and our mom was dead, and then they had us with a bunch of kids whose parents weren't dead yet. And I'm like, why are we all in this support group?
Should I be in a different group?
Yeah, I'm like, is there not 2 rooms? You can split us up.
See, that in the special about your mom dying and your 8 was, and then you sat on the stool, and you kind of gave a precursor. I'm going to be doing 6 minutes around this subject, and you landed it. It's very tricky. How did you work that out to make that?
I mean, some of those jokes I was working on really like when I was like 21, and it just wasn't working because I don't think I had like the maturity as a performer, and I don't think I was comfortable enough with myself as a comic or a person, and I hadn't done enough therapy around it, and was like, I'm fine, but I wasn't.
Right.
And I think the audience can smell it on you if you're like really not okay. And it is tricky to land, and it took years to get that material to a place where it was accessible, and there were plenty of jokes that didn't make it because I was like, I think that's hilarious, but it's just,
and they feel bad for you, and they think it's too hard to laugh at. Yeah,
they're too sad.
You gotta finesse it.
It's gonna be funnier than it is. Sad.
You had good therapy, like it really helped you.
Yeah,
some people go to bad therapy. Like
ayahuasca.
David went, and it didn't work.
You had bad therapy.
I went twice, and I go, I feel like I did it. Do we do more than this? And she goes, and then I go,
like, I'm fixed.
No, I got fixed quick, and she was like, "High five, you're done."
Wow.
2 sessions.
That's
Two
great. Your
sessions.
therapist hates money.
She hates. They always go, "It's you want to pay for 1,000 sessions up front." And I go, "How fucked up am I?" She's like, "Well,
It's
that's
like laser hair removal. They're like,
beginning.
it takes that many. It takes that many times.
You think it's over? Yeah.
So do you think that therapy allowed your stand-up to evolve then? Were they kind of work in concert together?
I went back to therapy. I've been in therapy now for, I started going when I was 24 or 25. And so it's been like 4 or 5 years now that I've been going consistently.
Would it be weird to ask for your therapist number? Because I'm kind of looking for a new one. I'm kidding.
Would it be weird to patch them in right now? No, but when
she's under the table.
When you say therapist, like, I think it's smart what you're doing, because I could never have said that at that age. Like, especially being a guy, like, it's just weird for my age back then. Even now, I wouldn't probably tell people. I would just do it. But you have your friends, which you think are your therapist, but there's always something else going on with what the advice they're giving you. So
right.
You just need a clear shot of someone you don't know at all, doesn't care about anything in your life, and just will straight back and forth, as straight as you can get.
Right.
I'm sure if you're DiCaprio in there, and there's always something weird, like you don't know if someone's star fucking or someone just saying this or whatever. But if you can just get someone that you feel comfortable, just even if you talk for an hour and they don't say anything, there's something good about that.
Oh yeah, I feel like most of what me and my therapist do is she just asks me questions where I say something and she goes, "Why do you think that is?" Or okay, do you hear that? Or I asked her once, I was like having a hard session. I go, what am I doing? And she goes, "What are you doing?"
That'll be $200. I love that.
When I do it, they go like this.
What are you doing?
I tell a sad story and they go, "Do you think there's a bit there?" And I go, "Oh, thanks, therapist. You're helping me."
That's actually great. Yeah. I wish my therapist would do that.
I've
gotten a lot of bits out of therapy.
My therapist said I was a people pleaser, and I said, "That's a great observation." Boom, these are the jokes. There's so many therapy jokes.
I know, you can't help but think of jokes
Taylor
all
laughed
the
at my
time.
therapy joke.
It was great. I love therapy jokes. My therapist just came to a show, actually. She was like, "Would you mind if I came to a show? It's fine if not." And I was like, do you feel like it would help this
Did
process?
she pass out cards with your name on it?
She should have. I know. She was like, "Just let me know if you want me to go or not." She goes, "Because if you do want me to go, I have to think up a reason." Because both my therapist and my psychiatrist were like, "We watched your specials because our family turned it on, but we couldn't say anything. We couldn't be like, that's my client."
Yeah.
They can't tell their husband, "I'm going to go see my client's comedy show." So they had to be like, "I don't know. We're going to Home Goods. I don't know."
If you mention therapy, did they stand up and wave and you go, "No"?
It's
And they go, they sit back down.
But did you get into stuff like, okay, the first thing I was told was that we have these feelings and we suppress them, and they're like as if you have a sore knee. It's like that they're talking to you, and that the therapist just questions your thinking a lot. Because if it's negative, redundant thinking, "I'm a piece of shit, I hate myself, we're all going to die," then she'll challenge that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you go, "Why do you think you're a piece of shit?"
Yeah.
Well, because of these reasons. But are those reasons true? And you go, "Well, I guess not. If you need me to prove it to you, I didn't know this was going to be a whole thing." And she's like, "Okay, well, I just wonder why you want to believe something that isn't true." It's like how I talk to boyfriends. I'm like, "Why do you think that was a good idea?" Okay.
Why do you need to
Follow that thought
girls?
Through. Yeah.
I don't really like them, but you put a like button.
I watched
different.
Good Will Hunting right before I started my first therapy session. And I was hoping for, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault." But I never got it.
You just walked in and you're like, would you say it's whose fault would you say it isn't?
Whose fault isn't it?
And then it was like, "You're an empath and narcissists feed on empathetic people."
Yeah.
That
you're a
whole
narcissist,
concept.
chow.
Yeah.
I was like, ask your brothers what your biggest flaw is, and they all wrote back very funny, nice things. And I went, "Okay, I'm gonna ask my siblings." And I asked my siblings, and my brother immediately responds with, "I think you expect everyone to hurt you, so you push them away before they can." And I was like, "Oh my God,
wow.
you guys!"
How
I was
old
looking
was this
for
kid?
No real
That's pretty
answers,
sophisticated.
I know he's been to therapy too. He's
You
Sheesh.
expect
Gen Z, man.
everyone
Gen
to hurt
Z's-
you, so you create a situation where they hurt you.
You push people away before they can hurt you because you expect everyone to hurt you.
I think I had some of that.
Some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Some of
Yeah.
that. But I've been married for Yours?
Yeah, what's that like? What's it like being successfully married?
Really cool.
Is it really cool?
Well, we've both been married to 7 different people in the same marriage.
Yeah.
A long marriage is like some planet going behind the sun. There's these sort of more chilly years, and then you come back to the sun. You're like, oh, this is great. So
yeah,
we're in an incredible.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and you have to have. We never were. No one ever called an attorney or anything. We just,
Yeah.
We realized only recently we took a personality test across from each other at the table, and it was all helpers.
Oh.
So we help our families, and
you're both helpers.
Helpers. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
So you just have to be two good people in a marriage. That's what you
that
got to do.
If you have a narcissist and an empath, then the narcissist can't help it. They're going to feed on the empathetic person and sort of destroy them and make it all about them. That's not good.
Yeah.
Two
That's
helpers are more right after you. Like David and I are 2 helpers. So I say, David, I'll do the research. He goes, no, I'll do the research. Right after you. But anyway,
Dan has a great marriage, and it's a good ad to see someone, because I grew up without seeing great marriages, and I have not been married, and it's kind of a secret.
My parents had a sucky marriage. I didn't emulate that.
That's crazy that you actually, because I would be scared to get in a situation that was bad, and I saw some bad ones, and I still do, and I go, and there's some good ones like you, and there's a couple other ones.
Most you struggle. I mean, then there's post kids, and what are we doing now?
But the sales pitch of like, it's work. I'm like, I already work. I don't want extra work. But that's what happens.
Dating is work.
Dating
is a drag too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I was not a good dater.
It's probably easier to be married, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd rather work than just do an endless string of interviews.
Yeah. Like no callbacks. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't. Shit, I can't remember if I was going to ask.
Doesn't matter.
I don't date. When I'm around, I'm thinking about comedians in general. There's not as many female comedians, so I don't think I've dated. Heather, have I dated any comedians? But it's a world that you're around the most.
Heather knows the answer.
I don't know. It's just
a great executive producer of our podcast.
I don't even know.
Heather,
I hope you haven't.
But I'm saying, I'm like, that one for 5 years. Oh, no. But I'm just saying that it's when you're a busboy or a waiter, you date the bartenders. When you're at work, So you're around just dudes mostly all the time.
Yeah.
And at night, and drinking, and at clubs, and weird situations, and staying in hotels.
Go ahead. I'm very curious about what you talk about it in your stand-up, but like in real life, because people ask me, like, what do women really find attractive?
Oh, I mean, I think that just depends on who it is. I don't think there's...
do you like a busy man, a working man, or do you like a man who hangs out a lot?
Oh, hangs out a lot, like unemployed.
At the house.
Well, are you familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Yes.
So I know a lot of young men, and he's a disciple, and it's sort of about the modern young man, not being emasculated but you being a superstar comedian, it's intimidating for a lot of men, maybe. You want to meet a man who has enough. Are you strong enough to be my man? I'm familiar with Sheryl Crow.
That's what I say on the first date, and they go, "Is that Sheryl Crow?" And I go, "Could you?"
Is that one of your bits?
Don't worry about it. It is hard to keep it going when you only have certain windows, and they're like, "Oh, I have to fit in those 2 days you're home," and you're like, "I guess." I mean, that's just the way it is. But and if you can't, you can't. But if they're busy, which is an attractive quality if someone else has something going on, to me it is. Yeah. And then it's harder to sync up.
I used to date someone in my early 20s who was also doing comedy, and we used to send avails emails. We would subject line avails. Yeah. It's not great.
To the people
what would you say to this, Dave?
Oh, yeah, that's availability for clubs.
For a comedy club.
What would you say to this, Taylor?
To get spots.
Men like to be admired by women.
I know I should be asking what men are attracted to.
And women like to love a man that they admire.
Are you asking me if I agree with that? Yeah. Or are you just telling me how it is?
Ask me if I understand it.
Open thoughts. It's just a Hallmark card thing. I heard somewhere. There's always a little bit of truth. Men like to be admired,
and women like
to be loved by a man they admire. I
think everybody's different. I think there's some people who really need
to be admired.
I think is it Mike Vecchione that has a joke about there can only be like one exciting person in a relationship, or I'm gonna butcher the joke.
Chris
One
Rock's
headshot.
one. Oh, what was the joke?
Yeah. Is that Mike Vecchio's joke? There can only be one headshot in a relationship. I know his joke is there's one person that's crazy and one person that's boring. And I do think you see that.
Down.
I do think you see that in a lot of like show business relationships. Is obviously one person needs to be like
the
on
crowd.
the marquee, and the other person needs to be the crowd. Yeah. And I don't know. I think if the other person's okay with that, I think some people are really happy to be the supportive one. Like some people don't want to be on camera, for lack of a better phrase. But then I think there's other people who, like, both people want that in different ways. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I should be asking you. Like, you're the only one
I used to say
successfully married here. Why are you making us come up with ideas?
I love what you guys twist and turn.
You're like, what do men and women want? We're like, why don't you fucking tell us? Dana Carvey,
if you marry a fan, like I married a civilian.
You married a fan?
I married a civilian.
Okay, was it a fan?
And Dana wasn't a big deal.
A fan, but she's very happy, independent, and it wasn't like we would
already?
go over in the clubs.
You were in the clubs. Great!
I was selling out 70 seaters
in San Fran.
She made more money than I did at that point.
That's amazing.
It is. It's weird.
That's great though, because don't you feel like if you had tried to meet somebody post fame, that would have gotten really weird and hard?
I think that would be more difficult in a way. Who was it? Was it Matthew Perry? He's got his book out saying he only will date wealthy women now.
Is that what he said?
Because they were always, at the end of the day, after a few months, it's like, could a sister get a nickel? Could I get a dime?
Chris
Could
Rock
I get a car?
goes, I've never dated a girl that didn't ultimately ask me for money.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. That was part of his act.
Oh, wow.
And then one time we were on an elevator and he goes, I'm the only TV star that has to drive a cab at night. Because he was spending his money. So,
how do you feel about it? I mean, dating and being very famous.
I like.
Or do you like it?
I tell them, I go, I'm the star. You're the crew. You're not even an audience. You're just a.
I make them wear a shirt that says crew on it.
Crew member. Just like you work. You like to stay behind the scenes, but you're important.
All right.
They like that. They like that description.
Yeah. Here's a boom mic.
But I do like. I don't like. No person. I want funny, so it's more demanding. I like when women are funny in their own way, even if it's just they don't need to be Robin Williams, but just like a lightness or fun to them. Obviously, there is to be attracted just initially, and then that kind of thing hangs in there for me. So it's a little demanding because not everyone is.
Super hot and super funny? That's what you're looking for?
They don't have to be super funny or super hot.
Just so I understand.
No, I know what I'm saying. Just amusing. Just like
amusing.
Likes comedy.
Well, great sense of humor, put it that way.
Yeah, just
even
sense of humor.
Great sense of humor is different.
But when women say, okay, you're gross, but you can date girls because you have a sense of humor, like people like that. But sense of humor is so vague. It's like music. I like a girl that likes music. It's like comedy is... Do you like Carrot Top? Do you like this kind of act? Do you like loud? Do you like dry? What TV shows do you like? Like if that doesn't sync up, then that's not a sense of humor that would sync up.
Yeah.
You have to find someone that's similar or that thinks I'm funny in my way because that's how I am sort of all the time, at least in some version. And then it's whatever. It's more of a charm with girls. Like it doesn't have to be like jokes or anything. It's just they like that.
David
lightness.
Talking to a young woman and his game, or it's not even a game, it's your patter. Your patter is very good.
Patter sounds better.
Comedians generally know how to talk about the elephant in the room, and like Woody Allen was kissing Diane Keaton, and Annie Hall can kiss now because we're going to do it later. Comedians know how to do that. Because you're wonderful. You're perfectly nice,
beautiful, intelligent woman. Taylor actually looks very young and seems older than you are.
Thank you. I get that a lot. I've always hated that I have like a baby face, and then you get to LA and everyone's like, "You'll love it someday." Everyone will like.
Let me tell you,
Dana's a very young face. No, I had a huge fat baby face. I got carded at.
Did you?
I got carded at 53 by a sober American person.
Really?
But then the fat starts to disappear. The neck says, fuck you. And then now I'm a cowboy.
Dana's in a war with his neck and face.
I'm a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy. I got some scruff. I got, hey, man, I have a few wrinkles. I'm a cowboy now.
Yeah.
He's a pirate.
No, my hair's
So
sticking
I
up
might be a
today.
cowboy
He's a little bit
someday.
My
Steven
hair's sticking
Tyler.
up today because it's got hairspray. But when I went to Chili's last week,
Yeah, your hair does say today. I filmed something yesterday.
something's going on. Yeah.
That's called should have stopped at 4 drinks hair.
I went to Chili's, Dana.
I
and
was
this,
on set last night.
this is a true story. Taylor, you're going to love this one.
Okay. Just take a break for about
Just
20
take
minutes.
a break.
Good.
We
Dig
will
deep.
talk about you again in 5 seconds. Just hang on. I was at Chili's, which I try to go to when I'm on the road. I love it. So we go there, and the waitress is very nice. And then she says, she does everything from, do you want me to stop people from coming over? Do you want me to I go, I'm in Chili's. I'm asking for trouble. So it's fine. I like to see everybody. It's fine. But we are ordering. And then when in the middle of dinner, after we've talked about SNL, we've talked about everything. She comes back and she goes, I go, can I get just a Belvedere with my Diet Coke? And she goes, I have to card you. And I know who you are. I have to
What?
card me.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of laughed and she stood there and I go, oh, okay.
Oh.
And I give her my ID and she looks at it. Okay. Like it was a little relief. Okay. You're 100. Like, I mean, what? Why are you carding me?
Was it the
I
first
get it all the
week?
time.
When did I get on SNL? When I was 1? What is she worried about?
Impression of a person opening candy.
I know. During my
Way too
great
loud.
story.
Just
I was
open
at
the
Chili's.
fucking candy so I can watch the movie already. Go on for like 20 minutes. There's
So
a stand-up bit. You can have it.
Taylor.
Taylor
take
do
it.
20 minutes on that. Candy openers in movie theaters. Could you just open and eat the fucking candy?
I mean, my generation mostly streams, but
Ah, Dana.
My generation. So Taylor. Oh shit! I got chocolate on the microphone.
You got chocolate on my
this
microphone.
podcast is going downhill now.
No, we
No,
haven't
this
even
is my
started
favorite
yet.
so far.
This is my
Because
favorite.
you're so relaxed and charming.
I've listened to a lot of episodes, so I feel very prepared.
I think I love you.
Yeah, I didn't when I got asked to do this, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know they had a podcast because there are so many podcasts now.
Yeah, sure.
And you guys are doing it right. You got famous and then started one. That's the only way to do it now. And I was like, oh, I got to listen to it because I always listen to shows before I do them. And I've just been burning through them the last few weeks.
That's good.
on
Just
the road.
skim. There's some shows where the guests will talk.
Mhm.
There's some shows where just Dana and I talk.
Some I just talk.
There's a
some
lot of-
David just
yeah.
talks. Sometimes Heather or
It's
Greg.
hard to do, actually.
It's a lot
It's
of
hard to
variety.
do where you don't talk over each other because there's 3 of us.
It's
but
a
anyway,
conversation, so we do.
Yeah, it's like
we would-
dinner.
like we're having dinner or lunch.
Well, I've talked to other people about this podcast and starting to listen to it, and everybody's like, I just love that they're friends. Like, I think that's
Yes.
mostly what people
See?
like
Keith,
to...
we got to keep this up for longer.
Oh, are you guys trying to quit?
no,
Is
Dana.
this even going to air?
Dana's a little quieter. This is a test show. Dana's a little quieter, and so when I obviously knew him on SNL, I knew him a little bit before SNL, barely. Just he was like a comic I liked.
I met him when he was a child.
and he would let me open
Oh.
for him. And then he helped on SNL, and then I got there, and then after we all left, we were doing different things. But when he moved back down here, I would ask if he wanted to go to dinner. He's just fun to talk to, and he's one of my favorites. And then we'd have some laughs at dinner. And so I have to get him out of the house though, because if
I'm a
if
definite
not prodded,
homebody.
he stays in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'm an incredible homebody. I got
Kyle
my
Dunnigan's
guitar,
like that.
I got my keyboard, I got movies I can watch, I can paint.
Yeah.
Hang
and
out
I'm more
with my-
thirsty and embarrassing, and I go out and I walk on the
He's a
beverage
man,
center.
a man about town.
No, I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
No, the last time I saw you was on Hollywood Boulevard going, who wants a picture? That's what I saw.
Well, that's because on Thursdays and Fridays I stand by my star and I take photos. But I think last time I saw you, sounds stupid, but I think I was leaving the Improv and you were coming in. I said, I think you're up because I think you were after me. And I was
Probably.
leaving.
Well, I did a show with both of you. It was
yes.
me and you two.
Oh, was that the same night?
I think so.
Because
And
one
did you
thing-
And then
follow
Pete Holmes
Jeff
was on.
Ross,
No,
or-
I followed Pete Holmes.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think it was a Sunday.
And I went in there and I saw Pete and he was
Murdering.
on a roll. He was
Yeah.
murdering,
Murdering,
and
yeah.
he's a big guy and he was just killing.
Yeah.
And I saw you go up and
Nope.
Go ahead.
well,
Oh, no.
you had to deal with Pete to get the rhythm back into your voice. And we all do
Yeah.
it. You have to follow
Did you
someone.
follow her?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
remember.
No, Jeff
Where'd you
Ross
go
came
first?
on between. But I was in the dark and you came by and I said, hi. You know,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
How did your set go? Following someone who's crushing, that takes a veteran's experience of like.
I thought it went okay. Yeah. Now I'm doubting it based on this conversation.
Pete and I talked about it.
Oh my God. Was it bad?
No, you crushed.
Oh
you
my
always
God.
kill.
Did I? Okay.
But I was thinking, am I following that? I mean, I don't do that much stand up.
Really?
And I say, from
what I remember, you played Chop and Broccoli and everyone gave you a standing ovation.
He killed.
I went back to 1982. Yeah. I can go back there.
He went back. He goes,
I'm like Taylor. I'm a museum piece at this point. People are like that. Come in like.
Danny goes.
He's still alive.
Do you guys remember E.T.? This song came out that year.
I wrote it in 82. It got on TV in 86. Let's get accurate. No,
so the 80s are big right now. Have you seen Stranger Things? It's very nostalgic.
Yes,
you're back.
Yeah, everyone loves
Todd
the
Rundgren.
80s.
Who's using Todd Rundgren lately? Some shows are using Todd Rundgren.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, it's me. Or
Well, let me see. Now I'm going to ask you about your...
He's running out of questions.
No, I'm asking about your specials. Well, there's one about a devout Christian family. I don't know if that's even a question.
About what? About one of my specials.
Was it a Catholic family or a Protestant?
Who wrote these notes?
This is straight off
This is from somebody called Mr. Wikipedia.
This is from Wikipedia?
This says you attended California State University San Marcos, which sounds like a fake college.
Oh, that's true. I went to a few colleges.
Yeah,
I did not finish.
People are like, hey, did you go to CSUN SMSFGA? It's pretty good.
It's CSU SM. Is that right?
That's enough letters, yeah, for a college.
Didn't you? You got?
Oh wait, Last Comic Standing. That's what I want to know. You were on Last Comic Standing, and are you sequestered like on The Bachelor or something? Do you have phones? Do you have anything? Or there weren't phones?
We had our phones. We were just sitting in like a makeshift green room while they sort of
filmed. Was the whole show a green room? You guys live in a green room?
Well, there was no, when I did it, it was like the last season and there was no house. There were no challenges. It was just stand-up sets. So we did just sit in a green room. And every once in a while, they'd pull someone to go do an interview in a chair, I guess. But it was just doing sets.
And
that's
you just
it.
would
when we stayed at the Hilton or something.
You write a set. How did the show work?
I think we all did we were doing 3-minute sets, 5-minute sets. And so you'd do that, and then the judges would give you feedback, and then you'd find out if you went through the next round. But I think if you went all the way through to the end, it was only 4 or 5 sets. I think it was only 4 sets because I did 3 and I was in the top 10.
And then the winner gets a gift certificate at Chili's or something. It was down to that at that point.
I think they got, I want to say Clayton English got $200,000 or something.
Oh, nice.
I think. I don't really remember. And then they went on tour. The top 5 did.
Oh, like that Last Comic Standing tour.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Did you ever have a moment, because I know I did, I don't know if David did, of maybe I'm not going to do this. Maybe I can't.
I'm not cut out for it?
I'm not going to. I bombed too many times in a row. Yeah.
Well, I've never bombed, but I did feel like, no, I've bombed.
I was about to say, Jesus.
She had me going.
Wow, I forgot we just met. I'm so
that
sorry.
Night with Dana horribly, according to his story.
He was a dandy little opener. If he'd get on a roll, I'd go, cut it. Get him off.
Start playing the music.
I used to travel with, one time we did 13 gigs.
We did a
summer.
Northeast tour in tents in August with 100% humidity, 105 degrees. He'd go out in shorts,
flip-flops,
and hang over the stool. Go,
Life
what's
alert.
Up?
Oh, no.
That was my bit.
I didn't think you could do stand-up that low-key and kill. He kind of walking out. They thought it was me in those days. We looked more alike.
That was the worst.
Woo! And then you drape himself on the stool. What's up? What's up? Cape Cod. And I go up and do an hour and a half and just drench through my clothes, literally sweat all the way through my clothes. The crowd was kind of going, whoa. What's your weirdest gig ever? I'll be like,
oh my gosh. I mean, which question should I answer? The one you asked
what
me
was
before?
The previous one?
No, do the one before.
Have you ever said, maybe I'm not going to be cut out for this?
Oh, yeah. And I think that was more of a lifestyle thing. I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for, I don't like the hang. I have really bad social anxiety. I don't drink. I just wasn't a good feature. I went on the road with Bert a few times, and it was such a bad, I learned so much from him, but he was he even told me later, he's like, I didn't really like you off stage at first because you weren't fun.
Nice.
Which is completely fair. But yeah, I felt like maybe I wasn't, weirdly enough, fun or brave enough to do it. And with the travel and when mental health stuff was really rough, I was like, I don't know that this is.
It's a big solo outing. I don't think people take that into consideration.
Well, and before I had the first special, I had just gotten to a place right before COVID that I could start bringing somebody to open for me, and that makes the biggest difference.
That's a lot.
And who do you use as an opener, a man or woman? Or
his name's Dustin Nickerson. He's very funny. He's like one of my best friends, and we like came up together. So it's just like I'm lucky he even goes on the road.
And
with me.
you can plan your stand up around your mental health in a sense. Like I'll do this little tour. I'll take a break. I mean, you're in theaters now, right? Pretty big theaters.
Do you know what gets to where it's your limit? Like, let me go out for how many days, and then I got to get back, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is at the risk of sounding like the worst. When we first, sort of announced the tour, I was like, this is very doable. And then we started adding shows, and then that becomes...
That is a trick.
Yeah, that becomes a little, like, more overwhelming. So I think you plan out as much as you can. But, after the first theater tour, I think this one I had a much better idea of like, okay, I need 1 weekend off a month. I need to space these out. I think now my agents are like, okay, you're more than a flash in the pan, maybe, so we can make sure you have longevity.
For a while, yeah,
they're like, we can focus on your mental health and
you
well-being.
Forget the. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just doing this year. This is the first time I've done like theater tour, and you forget a lot of them because of canceled flights and shit. You have to go the day before. It's too risky. So that's another day of boredom and weirdness. And then, and then sometimes
Peoria
if it goes well, we want to add a late show, or we want. And I said I can't do late shows. I did it once on this tour, and I go, oh my god, it's brutal. Like it's a theater late show is not as casual as a club late show.
Do you
and
meet
it's
and
a
greets?
Big deal. And what's that?
Do you do meet and greets?
I don't do meet and greets, but that would kill me. Nikki Glazer goes out. I go, we have the same person, and Alex keeps saying I poison her because I go, you do late shows? I go, oh, I can't handle. I was just commending her.
Yeah.
Because she's like a grinder, she works and she can talk a lot, and she does a podcast and that. But that's a different type of personality. She can do that and thrives on it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, did you tell her not to do late shows? I go, no. And he goes, don't poison her, and don't go to Gaffigan. And he's got all these people, and I go, I'm just saying me. But if they add a show, it's the next night. So
I'm trying to do that now.
It's okay, but then it's a whole nother day, and it's a whole nother.
Taylor, I have a question based on what you
give me a half hour to answer. Tell my answer to her question.
How are you with saying no?
I've gotten better at it.
Like the agent really it's just a conflict of interest.
It's money. Yeah.
And are you good at, or that's a therapy thing of like, my therapist said to me, remember, it's good for them, but is it good for you?
Right.
Which is very simple.
I feel like once I had a breakdown at one point, and this was like years ago. And I think I had to cancel like a few club weekends, and that was maybe when they were like, okay, let's
pace this out.
Yeah, let's pace this out. And I think my agents are pretty good about that now. Like we were adding shows, we're going over to like the UK, and my agent was like, okay, do you want to go over the week before? Cause that's a lot. Then you're on the road for like 3 weeks. Like you're just gone. Is that what you want to do? And like, I was like, yeah, I think so. And he was like, okay, cause I'm just reminding you how burnt out you were this time last year during April. And like, maybe just think about it. And
well, that's good.
Like, I think also just like I have a place in New York and I have a place in LA, and that's made it easier too.
That's way better.
Isn't it fascinating that Netflix, stand-up stars just obviously go to Europe? That just wasn't around in the 80s.
I mean, to have some value overseas was very rarely the case for Dana and I growing up. I've never even done it over there because I don't know if my jokes about Ralph's will work. So you got to call it blippity boobas. That's our Ralph's.
I said Bank of America in Canada last weekend. I was in Toronto, and somebody DM'd me, and they were like, we love you, but Bank of America. And I was like, it's a bank.
What is it?
You know where I'm from.
We don't understand. It has the word bank.
We don't understand.
I didn't say Chase. Yeah, come on.
I was at Manny Hanny. Manufacturers Hanover. Yeah. But I haven't done overseas. I would like to in Australia, but it's one time Chris Rock told me, Spade, you're on 2 shows today on TV. Both your sitcoms are on the 3 channels. So he says, get over here. You're famous. Come. I go, but his act is like politics, very, wide range. You can understand it anywhere. Marriage, relationships, race. Those things you can talk about almost anywhere. Mine, I would have to go through my act and go, that's why the stories like you were saying about yourself are good. They travel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And no one's doing them because it's just your experience. So I tell stories a lot about my life, and my angle on a story, hopefully, is my own angle. You know, it's like my fingerprint. So those are starting to happen more because that's what works. And I'd be scared of the pressure of, I think what this new thing is Taylor, you know, you're doing great. So you're going to go to theaters, which is more money. It's more fame. It's great. And then put a special out and then name it. And then that'll work for your next special and then your next tour. And that's sort of scary in itself because it's a lot of pressure. And writing an hour that you like is hard, you know, if you're hard on yourself.
Yeah.
To go, I don't love this. And they're like, you're ready. And you're like, it's just, I don't want people to go, it wasn't as good as the last, you know.
Yeah. I have
That's
that
a scary thing.
this weekend. A place that I was right
Did
before
you
the
stand
pandemic.
up this weekend?
No, I have one this Saturday, and I don't have new stuff for that place, so I'm going to try to write it tomorrow.
You know what? Just replace Jimmy Carter.
I don't have
with,
jokes. I'll just do
Joe
Fauci for 10 minutes. I can just extend. I mean, you guys have these crafted acts, and I can just go, you know.
I know we're doing it wrong.
Well, I'm just not a stand-up. I'm a sketch player.
You have talent instead.
Yeah, he has
I like everything I'm hearing.
Hey, Fauci, go fuck yourself.
You can get 2 boosters, 3 vaccines, you're still getting COVID. 5 boosters, 3, you're still getting COVID. That's why we're introducing the daily COVID shot. Every day you get a COVID shot. By the time you get to your car, you got no immunity. But it's a beautiful 39 seconds. Boom.
Go fuck yourself.
And from the bottom of my all-new leather Fauci's, go fuck yourself.
David and I are standing, just for the listeners.
I was standing ovation.
That is a standing
I'm glad
ovation.
to get that out. That warmed me up for Saturday.
That is fun to get say a bit. Do you ever say a bit in your hotel room before you go out because you go, I don't know this bit and I cannot. I think I'm great. I do, but when I get out there, I do not want to fuck this up for a theater crowd.
Yeah.
I owe them. It has to be smooth, and it doesn't seem smooth until they see it not smooth, and they go, and I go, it's a little undercooked.
I dropped a line.
Forget your ending. You
It's
forget
humiliating.
the middle of it. You go, I don't even know where this is going.
Yeah.
You see it on your set list. You go, I start it, and I go, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. A club you fuck up, you're like, at least you got chicken fingers. Like,
Well, you can kind of say I fucked up, and they're there. I was playing 1,500 seater, and I dropped a line, and it was just kind of embarrassing. I go. So the whole souffle of the joke was fucked, and I'm like, I just, you know, do you have notes on stage hidden anywhere?
I do.
Or you got it in your head?
Sometimes I just recently, now I don't, but also you can take I record every set on my phone.
And
so if you
listen
ever
to
really,
That's
not
painful.
always,
I
but
do.
I
I
do.
record every set just in case you stumble into something.
I mean, I'll listen to it if I
Yeah.
haven't gone up in a few days to like get it back in my head in the same way you say it over and over in your hotel
or
room.
go
to
hear
get
a
it back.
joke. You go listen to it. And goes, that's how it goes.
That's
right,
how it goes. Yeah, exactly. So I did have a set list like on the stool while I was doing clubs all summer because things were moving around, and you know, you do the thing with the index cards on the floor and you move it all over the place. But now I have it.
You
down.
know it
I
in your
don't need
head?
it. Yeah, now I do. But
Because you say it enough. Do you have a bit right now that you don't have to say it out loud that's just kind of coming together and you're thinking, oh, that's going to be a great chunk?
oh man, I feel that. I kind of feel that way.
About vest sweaters, I was told by somebody. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, I don't know. I'm
Little
like,
birdie told
what do I
me.
have to write?
You have a great cardigan chunk.
Well, I feel like kind of the best part for me of like getting to an hour is when you realize you have more than you need and you go, oh, good, I can get rid of these couple things that weren't that strong.
Yeah.
But like that's the great thing about TikTok and Instagram is like if you have a joke that you're like, this is fine, but I don't want it like in a special.
Just
goes like on TikTok and
to be
sells some
put into a
tickets.
fucking wood chipper.
Basically, yeah.
And then you never use it again.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that till someone told me. They go, it's a lot of crowd work on TikTok because you don't want something real from your act. I'm like, oh my God, that's true. Because why would you burn it? I mean, I get it. I was just talking to this other comedian I work with on the road, and I was asking her, I go, I feel like you're doing too much good stuff
Online?
online.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but she's like, I know, but I got to get to a certain point.
But is
It's
the
very
audience getting to all of it? Do you feel like, are they seeing everything, your audience?
No, I don't think so.
You know,
but it takes one. I remember I was doing
One
shows
heckler.
in
Or
I was
one
doing
comment.
shows in like New Jersey a few years ago, and I tried a joke on stage, and the girl in the front row went, "I saw that on Twitter today," and I was like, Yeah, I tweeted it today. Sorry. I didn't think, did anyone else see it on Twitter? That's what I thought. Like, did you have to yell that? So then that kind of got in my head forever.
Even your special, I'm new to it. My special was HBO, and that was years ago during Just Shoot Me. And then I did one on Comedy Central that was sort of in the witness protection program. No one saw. Dana kept trying to see it.
I tried to see it. I couldn't.
Oh, yeah, Comedy Central.
Couldn't.
Online, he's like, and then I got to join, then I have to.
Comedy Central's the worst.
Go through Paramount Plus.
They
suck, dude.
So
let's shit on them.
I'm not going to find them anymore.
I don't need them.
Let her talk.
All right. That was fucking Comedy Central. That's so hacky.
I think their YouTube was doing well for some people for a little while, but now I'm like, what do you... But yeah, the people's old specials getting like tied up by them and no one being able to see them.
And that was hard for me because I would almost use that material again because literally it was a waste. Yeah. So I finally did a Netflix one. By the way, they weren't clamoring for mine. It was just like back then, it was right when they started to bid on them. So we had a bid and they didn't answer for a week. We said, okay, let's just do it. Let's just get it out of the way because I had a window to do it. And then this one was fun. And when it aired, they reminded me, it airs tomorrow, so when you're in Texas this week, you're doing a new special, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. I didn't even really think ahead like that.
Who said that to you?
It was managers and also comedians asked me.
Because my agents were like, I feel like comedians are more like, so you need a new hour. My reps were like, you can do like half and half.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, no, you can't. Not anymore. Like when we filmed it, I started doing half and half in those like few months before it aired.
Yeah.
And then when it aired, I was doing a new hour.
It's so hard
because the fans would yell out or something or not be delighted to hear it again.
No, I probably could have. I know.
No one really gives a fuck.
Because I was asking.
Sometimes they like to hear the ones that they've...
I never know what the hard rule is. I know what people say. And then the argument of like, when I see a band, they better not sing one fucking new song. I mean, when I just saw the Doobie Brothers, and it was like fucking new song.
Here's our new song.
Yeah, and they had a bad case of the new songs.
Yeah,
they did 3 new songs in a row.
Yeah,
I went to 7-Eleven. I go, I have 3 songs.
I
left. Yeah, I had tons.
And you went to
they're playing the old ones.
Would you get a big gulp?
No, I got an Abba Zaba. And a magazine.
Remember Dennis Miller's bit about Big Gulp?
Yeah,
32 ounces of soda. What kind of human being needs that much liquid? Okay, they're just somebody who just stepped off the surface of the sun.
I parked my jet skis in there.
Yeah.
Did you, when you went back on the road right after it aired, did you ask the crowd who watched it? I did that.
No, I didn't that feels like a mistake because then I get scared and go, uh-oh.
Oh, well, I was doing a new hour, but I did, so I said, who watched the special? And it wasn't everybody. And then I said, who hasn't watched the special? Because they had tickets to this, because they bought that before they knew. And a lot of people cheered. And I said, okay, well, go home and watch it, please, because these are new jokes.
Yeah, don't forget, go watch it.
Yeah, my fear is that because I am not very famous, that people are not going to come back if I put out a special and then they come see me and it's the same material. My fear is that they're going to go, well, we'll just wait for it to come out.
But have you ever seen someone with your friends and you go, like when I go to the store, I stop by and I'm with a buddy, I go, oh, because everyone's good, pretty much, So like if Taylor was on or Sebastian or someone, I go, oh, watch. And I go, oh, she didn't do that one, and you go, I want them to see this joke I like of yours or something. But at the store, you're also knowing there's other comics watching. It's hard. It's really hard to even just work out there.
Oh my God, you can't. I feel like
watching
I can't.
And you go,
the
this
vibe's
is not the place.
I don't like it.
No, it's a competition.
Because you don't want to like bomb and then have
I'm
people
more
go,
like you, Taylor. I don't like to hang out. Yeah. I was always, first thing Jay Leno said, because my son was trying to do stand-up, he goes, get him away from the comedians. Yeah. Don't hang out, Yeah. It's a dead-end street because you get in love with just hanging out. Yeah. But, this happens when you're writing comedy. You'll do a bit, you shoot the special, and then you think of something that goes right with that. So you expand it.
Yeah.
And so
then there's your problem.
Yeah.
Your bit's bigger and fatter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And you still want to do it. And you're like, but the germ of it was on there, but it was undercooked. Now it's better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I just don't work that hard. And if they get quiet or don't really laugh, I'm getting paid, right?
You know what's good? It's good to get mad at the audience a lot. I tell them they're wrong.
I go, this is your fault.
Yeah.
This is your energy.
I'm their therapist. I said, where do you think you were wrong during this hour?
Why do you think you're not laughing?
Do you think because of this time with us that maybe you would try to get on Saturday Night Live because we have connections?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to. Yeah,
Because
that's why I'm here.
I forgot about Update though, because when I was there, I should have fought for Update. I didn't.
Yeah, you'd be
I was
perfect.
more built for Update. I would try to always get on Update, but Dennis was there, and then Kevin Neal, and they were good. And then when I guess Norm came on, but
Do you feel like if you got on it, like now, you'd be like a Pete Davidson type, where they put you on Update and you just blow up, being like the young guy
I don't
on Update?
know.
This is a brand new world.
It's a new world. Yeah,
Pete got bigger than the show in a way because for all the different reasons, you just become a global star. And once you're in that tabloid world, you just because fame is an end in itself. I mean, you can monetize fame like nobody's business now. Get really, really famous and monetize it.
Yeah.
But back then
you could sell a clothing line.
Yeah, you could.
You're big
I
enough.
don't think I
Taylor
could.
shoes.
I don't think I
Taylor
could.
clothes. Isn't there Taylor and
Do you
Taylor?
have merch? I love hearing about
I have
merch.
Yeah.
You have
love the
merch?
defeated.
I have a merch.
Why is it all like?
I don't know. I was like, I don't really need merch, and everyone's like, you do, and I was like, okay.
Do you have catchphrases on it or just?
No, not now. Like I never. No, I don't think I ever really did. I have very simple merch now. Like
It just says there was some new stuff.
it's like I have same topics, new jokes. I have just like my production company like logo is like a little leather jacket. And then
So
I
who's
have that
minding
on
you have a production? I mean, do you have
you
a
sell
business
it?
manager at Taylor?
Yes.
Are you saving money?
Yes.
Good.
How rich you are? How rich are you? Because we'll tell you because we know.
How rich you are.
I looked up your
I drove up to your house. I'm not this rich. That's for goddamn
like
sure.
on Celebrity Net Worth. What would it say?
I don't know. Should we Google it?
No,
They
don't
put
answer
you
that.
at 3,800, and I was like, Spade's got more money
No,
than
it's more than that.
3,800.
When you go, I have merch and I don't sell on the road. I'm too
What?
embarrassed. I don't know
What's
what to
your
do.
merch?
I'm scared.
Does it have catchphrases on it?
Next question.
Why don't you do fly
What
on the wall?
decade are the catchphrases from?
Not this one.
Hey, buddy.
No, you know what? My plan is
Spade. Hey, buddy.
my plan is to have a good movie that works every decade for a new crowd. So I did Tommy Boy, and then I did Joe Dirt, and then I did Wrong Missy. No, I did Grown Ups and Wrong Missy. So all you need is 4.
And then, so you have
It
t-shirts.
buys you
for
another
all of them?
10 years, and
You've
then
had 2
everyone forgets about
long-running
you. Then
series.
you go, oh, you got another one. Right?
You've been in what, 20 movies and 2 long-running series.
Oh, that's it.
And
Rules
then
of
I did 2
Engagement.
years on 8 Simple Rules.
And then 2 years on that and 5 years on SNL. Good Lord, what a
Wow.
resume.
Still broke.
And you're going on the
I'm
road.
getting nervous.
I'm on the road, busting my
Wow.
hump. Add dates.
And
New show. But that's the tricky thing is you're already burnt out looking at your schedule and you get it just perfectly where you go, I can handle that.
yeah.
And then when you add a date, it seems like a new thing, not part of that thing. You go, oh, that's flattering. They're going to add a show. I'm just doing one right now. Add here, add here, add here. And I go, wait a second.
yeah.
I'm going to get there and fuck you guys.
So
Why-
I predict right now, no pressure, that
Oh, no.
Taylor is going to make the leap within the next few years to arenas like Madison
I'd
Square
say
Garden.
movies
We'll see.
because stand up is sort of a means also.
She's
to
got
do
the
movies.
looks for movies.
Yeah.
You got a nice face for the lens, kid.
No, but you
Baby
could.
face.
That is a hard thing because in my day,
My day, we didn't have
Yeah.
Netflix specials.
but you would be it was the juxtaposition. I don't even think that's a word, but it was
It is now.
it was to stay in town to audition, but also to go on the road to make any money.
Right.
And to stay in town to audition, you can do it on, Zoom and send in auditions now, but it was always stay in town, and then you couldn't make any money.
Mm.
And then I'd fly back. I had a 2-week gig when I was an early stand-up for maybe $500 a week in Hawaii. So it was going to be a good trip, and $500 a week was pretty juicy. So I said, oh, and then I had a third callback for In Living Color.
Oh.
And I was so new, and I'm like, I'm not right for this show, I'm telling you. Not super character. And I think I had to stay.
Oh no.
And I told Hawaii, I'm just going to miss Monday and Tuesday, and I'll come Wednesday. They go, nope. I missed the whole 2 weeks. They go, now we'll get someone else. I go,
no.
fuck. So I go in there and bomb my audition. I'm like, good luck, Jim Carrey.
Oh,
well, one of us is going to get this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
May the
always
funnier
Jim
guy
Carrey.
win.
Just
Why am I
give
going
it
up
to
against
Jim
the best
Carrey.
guy? I know. I just walk in. I go, this. God damn.
Jim Carrey auditioned for SNL when I did. He put his foot behind his neck and he danced and turned into an orangutan and is doing all these impressions. I mean, it was like, give it to that guy.
He does that on his
No, we're
OnlyFans.
picking you.
too.
Really? Anyway, he did
Let's
all
let
right.
Taylor go. We're
beat her up halfway
enough.
done. I know it sounds weird, but they probably didn't tell you.
We
It's
have
a
all this
3-hour
candy
podcast.
and stuff for you because we just got
We have a
that in
gift
the mail.
basket
Oh, is
for
this
all
for
our
me?
guests.
Well,
It's
you
in-
get one.
Well,
of
Well,
them.
thank you for being our
was gonna
youngest
say.
It's a gift
guest.
basket, but you get
Funny
one.
and charming. This is just my own personal review. I just put nice on the top,
Yeah.
but with some.
It's a single sheet of paper from a yellow legal pad.
This is Dana's
It's my
deep
name with a star
dive.
by it.
This is how I do my notes. I can't do it like him on a word processor. I like to have it just rumble. You see the arrows.
Old school.
But I
It just
watched
says dead
your-
mom bipolar.
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Oh my God.
Dead mom bipolar jokes. Because I was like, who lands those
Yeah,
jokes?
that is the
That's
ball.
so
That is.
funny.
And we got
very
into it.
interesting
Yeah,
point.
comedy 16 with an arrow.
Yeah. Comedy 16.
Because that's
you can
important
take
to
this
hit.
if you want.
I would love to take
Comedy
that.
Still
16.
Yeah. Will you sign it
Taylor
for me?
Tomlinson. Yeah.
I'm gonna sell it, but
God damn.
But I watched your shows. Like David
Oh,
won't
that's so
watch
nice.
anything. He just looks at the Wikipedia.
What I like to do is eat and then take a nap.
and
then
have a protein
I
bar.
have one ready because we're leaving.
I had one during the podcast.
Well,
theater guy.
We covered every possible thing about SNL we could today, and we learned a lot
You've
about
been
SNL.
our youngest and most popular guest with our younger audience. We're
Yes.
going to bring in a whole new world.
We learned about hashtags. We learned about tagging people. We learned about all the stuff we need to know
And
about.
you learned a lot about us with our
Yes.
we're talking and parenting.
On the way here, she's frantically going, which one's which? Who's done what? Tell me, I'm almost there.
Just it'll be on my phone? Okay. I'll check the phone.
I won't figure it out while we're doing it. What if I don't?
What did he do again? Some kind of lady character?
One guy talks like a girl. No, he's a lady. What is it? You're cutting out. All right, thank you, Taylor.
thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank
okay.
you, Taylor Tomlinson.
I need a head start, and then you go. Then you leave.
Will Forte.
But I have one guess so far. I'm not going to say it.
Will Forte. Hey.
Same guess.
Will Forte?
Yes.
Anybody?
Will Forte. I put my shades on so I could hear better. It's a good song. It's a toe tapper. Will Forte, who was in Last Man Standing.
Well, he was
Standing
one of
on
our
Earth.
classic Saturday Night Live
Yes.
cast members.
Mhm.
He does the most eccentric sketches. One involving Jason Sudeikis and potato chips is kind of famous.
Yeah.
So it was so fun to talk to him. His comedy is so eccentric and brilliant, and yet he's such a humble, sweet guy to talk to.
Yeah, he was very sweet, and we went through a lot of the sketches. And Dana, you're very complimentary because he's got so many zigzag type of bits where you don't see where they're going. And
Oh yeah,
He's
the
very
spelling
out
bee
there.
does one of spelling bee. If you've ever seen it, we talk about that one. It's so funny. He is Mr. Commitment.
yeah, commits perfect for SNL. Just on that. Go ahead.
Mr. Commitment.
I know that. Commitment.
Yeah, can I play and you just sing?
Mr. Commitment. Mr. Commitment.
Okay, there we go.
I was doing it. It was very low.
People,
Sometimes I
look,
go,
I get letters. I know you're on Instagram and stuff. I
You
get
still
letters.
get letters?
I get letters. I'm old school, and they always say, "Can we like to hear David sing?" So I
No
said,
one.
I'll
My
entice him.
mom told me I had karaoke at my birthday once, and this is a quick story. Ashton Kutcher was there, and
Ashton Kutcher's at your birthday when you're like 10,
when I was 40, so a year ago.
and you're still
So,
okay.
He was anyway. He's a very cool dude. So he comes to
yeah.
party, and I go to sing "Wanted Dead or Alive." The bottom line of the story is my mom was at the party and she told me I can't sing, but the middle part of the story is
Wait a minute. The song, how does that go?
I'll do it.
Okay.
So Ashton, we go, let's do this one. So I go, it's all the same, only the name of Jane. You know that song?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking good, but that's good.
You committed.
Every chair turns around. So I start
it's
singing
like an
that,
episode of The Voice.
and then Ashton jumps out and want it, and I go want it. That background part is
That
very
sounds
important.
pretty good.
And then he sang the rest of it. And I go, you don't get all the good parts. He got both parts. I think he did one and then he did one. And I go, no. That's me. That's all I have left. Because now he's doing both the chorus and the other parts, whatever they're called. Ba, 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 whole song. And at the end,
I've heard this.
At the end, I gave him a weak high five. My mom was like, he fucked you, dude.
I don't know if that's true, but in karaoke, being kind of selfish like that, it's called doing a Kuchner. I don't know if it travels,
that's
but
what it's called.
Yeah, doing a Kuchner. No, he's good. The thing great about Ashton.
We're talking about Will Forte.
Oh.
I know we sort of drifted off. But
well, when I think of Will Forte, I think of Ashton Kutcher.
No, Ashton, my mom said, in fairness, we all were staring at Ashton, so no one cares if you sang. And I go, I get it. Will Forte, folks.
Ashton Kutcher. Oh, no, it's Will Forte, right?
Just end there. That was good. Yeah, we got an Ashton plug. Now Ashton comes on. Ashton should come on. The fuck, is he hosted?
No, he has hosted because he said to the cast, he goes, guys, I know I'm really good looking, but I have hardly any talent, so I'm just going to make as much money as I can. And he's a super...
Did he say that?
Yeah, and he's a super investor. I mean, he's like...
He gave everyone when he left 100 shares of Apple as a parting gift. You know what Will did once, Dana? You won't believe this, because I would never. Fucking, didn't you shave your side of your head?
I did. It was for work.
I know, but it's cool. I don't think I could have done it because I've never been in a job where they didn't want me to look the exact same and be the exact same as the movie before.
I did Racing with the Moon with Sean Penn in 1982 or something. And I'm in the trailer and I'm going to play this kind of wounded, insane soldier. And they're just giving me this crazy military buzz cut, right?
Whoa. Shit.
So then Sean Penn comes in. He's also in the military, but he's got this little pompadour and everything. I go, what? Why does Sean get this cool? That's the greatest haircut I've ever seen. And I'm just, but he was, hair too. And I had to call him the name of his character. I thought that was hip. Anyway, quick story. This podcast is primarily about me. And so just want to give you a heads up on that.
So, Will,
how are you?
For Dana.
How are you? I mean, you have a baby and you're, how are you?
I'm doing great. I have a baby, just got married. We got engaged.
You married your baby?
I married my baby.
I think I'm hearing it wrong.
She's my baby. Yeah.
She's been, no. It's got married, got engaged the Christmas Day right before the pandemic set in. And then during the pandemic, we were kind of waiting to figure out when to get married. The baby popped up. The baby, which is part of the plan, eventually popped up a little earlier than we thought. And then so we just got married when we were out shooting MacGruber. We kind of realized that all our family was going to come in town to visit. So we said, let's surprise them and get married.
Let me ask you a question, because David's been married a few times. I've only been married once, but it is sort of that, unless someone's completely cynical, there is something like referring to, I know John Mulaney did a bit about, but my wife and my husband and the clarity and the finality of a wedding ring, and here we are. I mean, how do you feel after?
I'll tell you,
how do you feel about that?
It's crazy because you feel very married. And especially when you have a baby, it's like, oh, we are locked in. Monty. Yeah. But there's still something really fun about the wearing the ring. I said that it's still kind of fun to say wife now. It's for some reason the weirdest part of it was when I would say fiance. It was just weird to say fiance.
It's like a weird
because it was open ended. Yeah. I was, for years, when I would make love with my partner, my wife, I would, that would be my sex word. Wife, I'm having you, wife. No, I made this up. Sorry.
It's your safe
word.
Write
it into a sketch. Well, please, and make it brilliant.
No, I'm telling you, I'm the one that has been married the most, and I think there is something cool about that. I get it. I get it. You just know it. You know what it is. You know where you're at. It's
like one of Laurenisms, and sometimes I don't know if he makes them up or he invents them. Marriage is a prison that everyone's trying to escape into. But then You never heard that one?
I've
like
never heard that.
Brilliant, right? But then you're so happy that you have this parameter in this area that you work from, and then you kind of all this lovey-dovey stuff keeps coming up, flowing forward. And, you know, my family, I got to get my family. I'm taking my daughter here, and my wife's meeting me there. Anyway, I'm trying to get Spade married, so I'm trying.
No, I will say I heard the opposite. Hey, this is what I heard from my dad, and it should be on a T-shirt. This is my dad because they had a crummy marriage and an ugly divorce. But he said two things: marriage is the only game that two can play and both can lose. And then he said, which is very nice to tell your kid when your mom's right there. And then he said, the fucking you're getting is not worth the fucking you're getting. And I'm like, can I just go to preschool?
You had a good mentor. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but I like that stuff. I mean, yeah, that's very honest. I think that
but I still wouldn't mind getting married.
Well, would you say your wife is sweet and kind and essentially has just good values and a sense of humor? That'd be the four.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, she's all those things. She has a tremendous amount of patience, which is something that I basically need in a partner because I can try
we're
anybody's
out of our minds,
nerves.
Comedians.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but she's wonderful and she's a great mom, which is and she's just I really got lucky because she was just I was super on board with everything, very in love with her. And then found out she was a great cook.
Whoa.
Here she is. She's just coming in. She's just somehow on cue.
Can we mic her up? Hello. Hi.
There she is. There she is. That's Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. I'm either Dana or David.
Congratulations
Dana and David.
On your family. We've heard all about you for the last 90 minutes.
Oh, they can't even. Sorry. Now I can. Okay, now I've just.
Gorgeous.
Oh, now I can't. It's still just trapped in the phone.
Oh, she can't hear.
Oh,
yeah, anyway,
enjoy
your podcast.
She couldn't hear anything.
We
they were saying
saw
nice
her.
to meet you.
And yeah, she exudes niceness and sweetness, and then
she's very nice. Her mom is in town right now. We're doing I've scored in that department too. She's got a family I like hanging out with, and just everything is great. Everything is fantastic.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. I just wanted to ask about that because that's a big
really
experience.
Dana's really got a nose
kid.
for news.
You know, it's like okay.
Where are you guys from? Because Dana, I know you're in Northern California right now, right? Because that's where I'm from.
I actually have a townhome in West Hollywood where I am right now. So, but I have my house in Mill Valley, but I spend a lot of time down here. And I remember you're a Bay Area
from
kid.
Mill Valley, are you? Are you
no,
from up there?
My wife grew up there.
Okay.
I grew up in San Carlos down on the peninsula, where a track home is $4 million now. But where did you grow up in Lafayette?
Yeah, Lafayette and Moraga until I went down to UCLA in '88.
Wow.
So I love it up there. That's always where I wanted to end up.
So quickly, because I did this for like a half hour with Tom Hanks and I got in trouble. But did you have a favorite gift as a kid? Like it could be a bike or an instrument when you were like, between 5 and 10. I'm always just curious about you as a kid.
I would say the thing that first jumped out to me was Stretch Armstrong.
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
Stretch.
I love that thing.
That was unreal.
But it was
that was like Gumby, but as a soldier,
and it was a workout
and bigger than Gumby.
It was and you'd pull the thing until the arms would come out, and there was like it was, from what I remember, kind of like a sappy blood. It was red colored, whatever was inside it, making it gooey. Yeah. It was,
and I think it's always fun that the character's name is what they do. His name is Stretch.
There wasn't much going on. If you look at toys today, like
the
Stretch Armstrong, I had one. You just pull it and it gets a little longer, and then it goes back, and you're like, "Yay!" I don't know, but it was fucking great. I loved it. I don't know. Yeah,
one of my first stand-up bits when I couldn't write anything, so I just go to toy stores and get props because I couldn't think of a joke, but I wanted to be a comedian. I had a Gumby on stage. I'd hold it up, I'd take it out of a bag, put it up against the mic. I'd pull its legs apart and just make the sound like not like I was torturing. And
Hey.
You got to laugh. I did stuff like you did, but in my early days, everything was avant-garde.
By the way, let me tell you, when I was looking at this
but
thing,
we'll get around to Will's genius.
No,
but
Will's
later.
genius. I'm going to ask him because Dana and I were doing some digging on you. We had a big argument whether you're a genius. It was like a 40-minute. No, we were looking, and the funniest thing I saw on one of these pages was, it says like trivia about you, and it says Forte's humor has been described as bizarre.
Quirky.
I love it.
I was looking on a deep
that's
dive last night, and my wife was over my shoulder, and she just looked very quickly, and she goes, "Now that's funny." I go, "Thanks, honey."
Yeah, I watched. We watched different things last night, but go ahead, Will. Sorry, we were giving you compliments. We were inching into it.
No, it is crazy to hear you guys saying stuff like this, because I'll be honest, I was a little nervous coming on here. I'm such big fans of your guys that I was like, oh, I hope I don't clam up around them. And David, I've seen you so many times. Dana, I only met you once at the SNL 40th, but that was
fun.
I have
Briefly.
such tremendous respect for you guys and love you guys. You're heroes of mine. So
I would be as an attorney, I would make the case in a courtroom for that you have a lane that's so specific, and I don't think anyone occupied it in quite the same way. The potato chip, I'm just going with you and Sudeikis, the potato chip NASA thing, John Hamm sex offender, the spelling bee thing, and then the dance where Peyton Manning ended up dancing, and MacGruber sensitivity train. If anyone's listening wants to see what, I mean, those are pretty good representation. That's a real nice assortment pack.
I had to dig on the Peyton Manning one to go to Vimeo because YouTube wouldn't show it, so I had to get into a Vimeo situation.
Oh yeah, I think it's because of the song. If there's the song that it kicks it out.
They kicked it out.
Certain sites because it doesn't want to pay for the song to be heard over and over again.
Just because we may not get to this later, I just wanted to ask very quickly about MacGruber and Richard Dean Anderson, because I've been watching with one of my sons who's a sci-fi fanatic. We're watching Stargate, and there's 220 episodes. So I become a super fan of Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah.
And then I know he did that commercial with you, and he was on SNL. Just seems like an incredibly nice guy. Anyway, I just wanted to bring him up so I could tell my son I did.
The nicest guy, because we had been doing MacGruber's for a while, and then we got a chance to do a Super Bowl commercial, which Pepsi had approached Lauren and said, "Hey, do you want to take an SNL sketch and turn it into a commercial?" And somehow he picked MacGruber. And then when he told Pepsi that MacGruber was what he wanted to go with, they quickly bowed out and said, well, you know what? Maybe we don't want to do a Super Bowl commercial. So Lauren said, you know what? Let's keep making this thing and just make it good enough that they'll want to do it. So we said, all right. And rallied the troops, and we did it and brought Richard Dean Anderson in. And we decided, because there was no guarantee that this was going to go anywhere, we would make a sketch for the show at the same time. So we got to hang around with him for a whole day once, and he was so cool. And he talked about this is way before the movie came about. So he talked all about how he had been watching the MacGrubers with his 10-year-old daughter, and it was very sweet. And then after the movie came out, it took a pretty hard turn into very dirty territory. And I don't think they watched that one together.
I don't know if they saw that one.
I have two questions, Dana. One is
Yes.
just a statement that my first year of SNL, I think I was on about a year and a half, and I was making $1,500 a show or a week. And then I got out of the blue, got offered a Diet Pepsi Super Bowl commercial. And I was so excited. And then my manager, Gervitz, Dana and I are the same guy. He goes, still got to run it by Lauren. And I go, what does Lauren give a fuck? So I go, okay, tell him. And he goes, yeah, sorry, said no. I go, no what? I didn't know that was possible. Like, he said no to my, not time, not now. And I go, I think it was $250,000. I was like, Baba, anyway, so that was a bummer. And then the other thing is, my assistant, sounds so Richie Rich, but this girl that works with me I've known her forever.
and she was like a fake assistant because she was just like, we were friends, but she would help me with stuff. So she started dating Richard, and so I would see him here and there, and then she got pregnant, and then that daughter is Wiley, I think, and then that I know her, so I know his daughter, and I know him because I see him through her. So they didn't get married, but they had this great daughter, and I had seen him a few times, and he was a fucking cool dude, and I knew what you guys were doing that thing, and I'm like, this is like flattering. It's cool to be part of that whole thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, this was MacGruber would not exist without MacGyver.
And he was cool. Everyone thought he was cool. This girl was like, all the girls were crazy about it.
In Stargate, what he's doing as kind of a light leading man, and the quips and the way he plays it is like perfection. Anyway, the commercial.
So good, yeah.
And it's really not easy to do. And I think he ad-libbed a lot of his lines, but just really good. In 1988, I think, or 89, anyway, Hans and Franz was offered Just Do It, the campaign from Nike.
Yeah.
And it was Just Do It. We were going to start the campaign. And then Lauren had to call me, and I was going to do what, because we all thought we were Bob Dylan or the Beatles or something, so you don't sell out later on. Later on, there were, Conehead oven mitts in the SNL store. But Lauren at the time, it's not what we do here. It's not that thing. And it's like, so...
Of course.
But everyone learned that all the hippies grew up. It's like the movie The Big Chill with, like, oh, we got to get money. It's not corny to make money.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I have a question.
Can I go back?
I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was just going to say, when you bring up Hans and Franz, I will every once in a while go hiking. It's been a while, but hiking with Kevin Nealon.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone that's part of your team when you're there, they're like your soldier buddies.
Yeah. But the sweetest person, I've just, he married, I went through the groundling system with his wife, Susan. So I kind of got to know him later on once they were together. But man, what a
gentle,
so nice, and such throwaway dry
funny
jokes. He's so clever. He just says
so
stuff.
funny when we would do Hans and Franz. And it was really Kevin's driving element of it that once we were on the phone laughing about it, we were trying to create characters. And when Kevin said, and if you don't think we could do this, we could very easily come to your house. Once we knew we were never going to lift weights, we were only going to scream at this imaginary. We're so paranoid. And if you doubt us, we will do this. But right as we were the music, we got stuff on, we're on 8H, we're about to start the sketch, and Kevin's just being Kevin Nealon. And then he would look at me, and I swear his whole face, his IQ would go down like 100 points, like in a second. Always made me laugh right before we started. He would just like cross his eyes or something, but he instantly became incredibly stupid.
Hear me now, believe me later. I like that one. Listen to me now,
let me
believe
tell
me
you
later.
something. We could stretch your buttocks out. You're like, we could light your butt. You're lucky there's not a campfire here because your buttocks are like soft like marshmallows. That one I did like. I didn't feel
I like Hans
that
and
one.
Franz.
I like the humor, but can we just for a second?
Second.
I don't want to lose the.
Did you have a McBlooper reel?
These sketches that I looked at. I mean, let's take one of them, or you can pick one you want to talk about.
Yeah, or just when you want to talk.
No, you pick it. You pick it.
Okay.
You pick it.
Well, just quickly.
I want to go back and turn it around and ask you guys a couple questions.
That's allowed. This is a conversation, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John. Well, I just mentioned a few. The sex offender thing is crazy, brilliant. The spelling bee thing. How long it went on and the multiple layers of laughs as the audience, and then Jack Black singing at the end. The dancing, one thing stood out, not only was your dancing and the coach so fucking funny, but then when Peyton Manning got up, and I guess he's 6'4", 240, and how light on his feet he was and the way he danced. It was like that double-double, right? So talk about any of those. I can't pick a favorite.
I'll go in order. The spelling bee was one I used to do at the Groundlings for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably definitely one of my 2 or 3 favorites of things I used to do at the Groundlings. So I kept trying to put it up at the show, and I
didn't get up on the first time.
No.
Wow.
You for people who don't know what the process is like, you put something up once. If it goes well at the table, sometimes it just doesn't get picked. But but you can put it up maybe a second time.
With
but
a
if it doesn't
stink
get
on
picked
it.
after the second time, then you just don't put it up
It's
again.
a little
I put it up-
stinky. Go ahead. How many times?
I put it up 5 times.
Oh, gross.
Okay.
5 times.
Embarrassing.
And then Jack Black was the final person, and he said, "Oh, we got to do this." So we wrote him the song at the beginning, but it was so fun to get to do that there because it kind of reminds you of the long journey from Groundlings to I don't know. It's very
I think
fun
Cowbell,
to do that there.
Will's the other Will Cowbell, didn't that either it got canned after the dress show or whatever, but it took a while, and then when Walken came in, it just went boom. Yeah,
I remember hearing that.
Having the host
so
on your team helps. I'm sorry. And
you can't imagine another human being saying more Cowbell better than Walken.
I felt funny. It was when you said, "Can you spell it?" was hilarious. And then when you were doing the letters, I pictured Wally or someone just holding a million cue cards, just going. I'm like, I hope it's not one letter per card.
Or did you have it memorized from the Groundlings?
No. The scary thing about that is I remembered going out on stage. It was really in a area. It was the last thing before the musical performance. It was the Christmas show, and I remembered looking down. It was like 12:52 or something. We were going out there. I knew that Neil Young still had to perform a whole song, and then they had to see everything. They had to see the whole ice skating stuff. Everyone they wanted to shoot us down.
This is great inside baseball.
So I was like,
my God.
I probably would have gone on for another,
you had to rush a bit that's based on being
that was a short
slow.
version. Anyway,
well, I just was in the back of my mind. I was like, are they going to give me this thing? And then, sometimes every once in a while they'll cut off a sketch like in the middle of it. It doesn't happen very often,
but to your performance, as someone who does this, it just, you were so patient.
Yeah.
You never pushed, you never blink, you were so straight with it.
On a sketch, you're supposed to be speeding up quietly, like on the side. The pressure's like, get the fuck off, get this thing done. And you're like, nope, this is how slow it goes.
And it's
easy
not funny
for
if I don't. Performer to pull the ripcord a little bit and slightly wink or do something a little high pitched or try to get a little laugh in the middle but you never told the line. It's like you never, ever, ever winked at all.
I think they know with Will, it's like going to be like that.
Go ahead.
Just for sure, having a chance to do that so many, I must have done that 40 or 50 times at the Groundlings. So it really gives you
the pacing.
I don't know. You get a little confidence in what it is and clarity on what it is that. And I don't know if that was.
I wouldn't compare it at all. But Church Lady's kind of almost like a vaudeville sketch, but whatever. But I'd done it in the clubs as part of my stand-up, and then the minute Victoria Jackson said something, and then I said, "Well, isn't that special?" And I got to laugh like I did in the club. It helped really relax me.
Do you remember what was your first thing you ever did on the show? What both of you? Do you remember that very first thing?
I think Dana was Church Lady.
It was the very first thing. I came on the show with Phil Hartman and Jan Hooks.
Yeah,
and it was our very first show. We were in the cold opening. And I was a game show psychic. So Phil was the game show host. Jan was playing like a frumpy, motherly character. And I was like this kind of a genius. Like I would answer before Phil could ask the question. So at one point I was doing a Garth type character based on my brother. I go, meteor, and he hadn't even asked the question. Meteor. Oh no, we have to ask the question. Meteor. And then this giant meteor came down and killed Jan or something. But that was my first one. And I was levitating. I wasn't quite in my body, I was like anyone else. I was playing terrified. A pizza parlor. It was just a stand-up in July. And then suddenly I'm on Saturday Night Live. So tell us your experience with your first thing on SNL.
Mine was I was in a sketch. It was Matt Damon was hosting, and it was a sketch about Hannibal Lecter in college.
Damn,
and all I had to say is, dude, I told you he was gay. That's the only thing I had to say. And I almost couldn't say the words. I couldn't remember. I saw it coming up and I'm like, is my mouth, are the muscles going to remember what to do? And somehow it came out, but it was fucking terrifying.
You remember what color you were on your cue cards? I used to ask for green. No, I asked for blue, I think.
I think I was green. I think it was green.
Funny, you go, I want this. And Wally would go, I think Wally was there for you guys, but he would go, what do you want?
Wally Thurston.
And I watch Farley squint his head. I go, you're actually hurting your head. You're squinting so hard. Because he wouldn't wear his glasses. And I go, at some point, you're going to have to wear your glasses. But
David, what was your
first one? Thank you, Will. Dana never asked me questions about me.
Dana.
Heard it. Been there. No,
I was brought on with Rob Schneider in the end of the season for 4 shows. So I went a week ahead and watched one. I met, I saw Lovitz and I watched just to see what it was like, even though you have no idea unless you're part of it. I'm just watching going, holy shit, this moves fast. And it's smaller than you think and all this. And so I go back and I think one of those 4 shows, I didn't write anything that got on, maybe a few update jokes. And then there was something about Casualties of War with Michael J. Fox was coming out. So I got to do it on Weekend Update and it went in limbo, which means you're not at the desk, you're somewhere else with a backdrop. Yeah. So it looks like I'm in a jungle. And so Dennis is like, fucking Spudley. Right. And now we're going out with Mike Fox or whatever, Casualties of War. And I'm in an army uniform. I'm like, hey, Sarge, you got to give me a minute on this here, Hey, we're deep in the trenches with the goop. Perfect. Anyway, I do it. And then he goes, thanks, Mike Fox. And then they go, Kenny Amon, bless his heart. I love Kenny. They forgot to put my card at the beginning. It was just a card saying featuring, and you wouldn't be in the show. I wouldn't have my name at the beginning unless I was in it. And so when I was in it, I get paid at $1,500 and they give me featuring up front and featuring David Spade, but they forgot. And so people thought it was Dana or Mike Myers. They didn't know
I died on that for months.
And it fucking
that Michael J. Fox was awesome. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah,
I just started smoking. It was so good.
Dana and Mike heard about it, and Dennis is like, they fucked you, guy.
Christ
so wait, that was your first time on camera was like toward the end of the season?
Thing. Yeah, it was like second to last show.
He came in late in the season, he was staggered in. And did you come in at the beginning of the season?
That's like Sudeikis was the same thing, had been a writer for a while and then was, one of the last couple shows of his
got bumped up season, to the bigs.
Yeah, I was at the beginning. I came in 2002 with Fred Armisen.
Okay, so yeah, you were the normal beginning.
I don't know if you want to talk about if you've already talked about this, but I do think it's funny that you were writing for Bonnie and Terry Turner. Basically, you had nice network TV jobs, Third Rock.
That was for Bonnie and Terry Turner.
Had to be.
Who wrote what movie that I was in, Dana?
Brady Bunch? No, that was
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Oh, Tommy Boy.
Yeah, they were great.
So that when you auditioned for SNL, apparently you weren't as nervous as you normally would have been because you kind of had this other job, and I guess you were swearing, or you did. What was your audition process like? Were you really nervous, or were you cavalier because you were on the fence about taking the job, or is that all just Wikipedia stuff?
There was an element of it that I was not nervous for. I was doing a Groundlings show during the hiatus. I was working at 70 Show at the time. Mm-hmm. And so I did a series of Groundling shows during that hiatus period. And Lauren came to one of those shows, and that was where I was super loose. And because like I had a job, and I knew that I couldn't do anything. And I also thought like, they'd never like.
Anyway. Right. Kind of thought, well, I'm too busy to do SNL. Yeah.
Well, just like I'm contractually obligated to this other job that I love, and also like they're not going to like me. I've got no chance anyway. I'm an acquired taste, and
you're a bum rock.
So did you destroy that night in a way?
I did. I had this sketch that went so well, it was crazy. It's what at the Groundlings. When you're in the main stage show, you'll have an opening of a show, and that was the opening of this show, and then you'll do the show for 2 or 3 months. And this sketch went so well, and then bombed every other time that I ever did it. It was somehow meant to be. I just got really
expired.
lucky. Exactly. No, but then I went to, so they asked me to audition, and then I was terrified. Going there, it was the scariest. Were you guys nervous to audition?
Mm-hmm.
Well, were you in 8H kind of doing that, or where was your other audition? Okay.
The first thing was at the Groundlings. So what Lauren came to was just our set Groundling show. Right. Nobody knew that Lauren was coming. It wasn't an SNL showcase. They just happened to show up on this night.
He wore a mustache. Hello, just me.
Yeah.
Not
did he bring any kind of movie star? Because he had Cher when he saw me, and with Melanie Hutzel, he had Quincy Jones. Yeah, it was a little club on the West Side, and Lauren walked in, and then Cher walked in, and the head of the NBC network at the time, Brandon Tartikoff.
Do you believe it's
that is crazy?
2-drink minimum?
So did you know he was supposed to come?
I was told, and that's why I was able to get it to this little club, because I'd done the whole cattle call at the Comedy Store a couple times. 20 comedians doing 5 minutes, no MC, just one after the other. And I followed Sam Kinison at midnight. He levitated the room. Literally, there was structural damage to the room. And then no one ever got my name right. And now Dana Garno, I'm not kidding. Often, it was always Dana, and then Dana Garvey. So then I just complete dead silence. Isn't that special? Here's Jimmy Stewart, So then Lauren's coming back around. So I wanted to go play this comedy club with 100 people in it. There was a normal audience. And Rosie O'Donnell was headlining that week. I didn't even know her. And she agreed because I was bringing Lauren. And I met her there. She seemed like she was like so worldly and confident, So I said, maybe I should go on first. So I went on first, but I had 40 minutes.
Though. She kills.
She's great. I thank her for this. 40 minutes instead of 5. And that's and then I auditioned later at a studio. That's a whole nother story.
Wait a second. You were supposed to do 5. You did 40?
No, this was a regular comedy club. So I just squeezed in and did 40.
You just did a guess.
And then Rosie closed and we had an MC. So that's why I got the show. If I'd done 5 minutes, no way. Because everyone goes, we can tell if they're funny, even if they're not getting laughs. I know if they're funny. Fuck you. No, you don't. They got to hear the laughs.
So then when you go and do the audition, was it the same process? I assume it was the same thing. Do a couple characters, do a couple impersonations.
Did you ever go into 8H, Dana?
No, I did that in LA, and I did it, like 10 people were there, and Jim Carrey went up, and Phil went up, and and at a given point, I ran out of stuff, and Lauren said, do you have anything else? Is there anything else you have besides what we've seen?
Sickening.
Oh, no.
But I realized later, at least I thought, I've never asked Lauren, were you testing my nerves? Did you want to see if you could handle the pressure? But then I had a little thing called Chopping Broccoli. You mind if I play the piano?
Did you play Chopping Broccoli at the end?
Saturday Night Live. I did, of course.
Chopping broccoli.
I'd rather just make sounds. That's my thing. I don't want to say words. My Biden is like,
oh man.
You know what chopping broccoli is to me? It's one of those ones where I think I'm the only one that likes it. I go, this is so fucking funny. I bet no one gets it. And then everyone else is like, chopping broccoli is the funniest thing he does. I go, oh, it is? God,
one of the all-time classics.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I was thrilled
I found
to hear with my own ears you saying that in a story that you're telling to me and David. That was a thrill.
She chop. It's so stupid. I've been on shows and theaters in the round, and someone will hit my back, and it's a stalk of broccoli. Like people will being broccoli and just throw it.
And your cue. You're like chopping broccoli.
Chop. But I think Lauren liked it because it's the idea of someone running out of creative, getting all this money and success and then essentially phoning it in,
And you're like,
so
sure.
He liked what was behind it. But anyway, let's get back to you.
I have another question
our super
for Will.
guest, Will Forte.
Will Forte.
One of the three big Wills.
No, I like asking your
Joe Dirte. Hey, Will.
Sounds like someone should get his own podcast.
I know. You're a good questioner.
Oh,
you're like, I would never do. No offense. But Will, you wrote for Letterman, and my only question for that is, I actually have a couple, but I would say, is it true that you don't see Letterman much or see him at all when you write for him?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's. I came in. I was a lower level writer. Never made it past the lower level. I was only there for about 9 months. Letterman was, one of my comedy sensibility shapers growing up.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
We all
was thrilled to go there,
David.
But I just wasn't as good at writing for him as I thought I would be. I thought it'd be this natural match, and I still he's still one of my all-time heroes. But I barely. You would see him if you had written something there was going to be a pre-tape on, and you had to go out on the shoot. Or if you're like a department head, or you had to run stuff by him, you'd go down.
Or if you walked the wrong way down the hallway,
exactly,
you run into. Hey,
I never talked to him as a guest. Did you talk to him as a guest? Either of you?
I did. I went backstage on there twice. No. But you did a show though. You did a show as a guest. You mean behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes? No, I don't think I ever talked to him. It was always just on air, which is I got why he wanted it to be like that. Ellen did that too.
For a second, I thought you were saying you had never been on the show, and I'm like, wait.
I thought he said he went on the show and then didn't talk to Letterman. I'm like, on the show you didn't? No, that's weird.
So, Will. If I can call you that.
Is this over? Are we starting?
No, I want to. Let's see. The sex offender one. That's another one.
That one. So the sex offender one, Colin Jost wrote that. I got the good fortune of being in that one because for some reason he thought of me when he thought sex offender. And
you can just play off kilter. It would seem like perfect casting if you didn't write it. It was John Hamm, and you were a creepy but awkward, weird. Yeah. And it was that Collins thing. Just a few but that's not me. That's you. What? That catchphrase was that.
I basically did exactly as he wrote it. Could
you just do that catchphrase for a second?
What? It's just a high pitched what?
But yeah, there was something that happened. But I'm not you. You're not me. What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's a guy going up to trick or treat, and he's dressed as a sex offender, and so somebody's like, "Wait, are you a sex offender?" And it's like, "No, I'm dressed as a sex offender." And then it comes out that he does have a form for the people to sign, acknowledging that he's moving into the neighborhood. And then it's like, wait, is this part of the costume, or is this part of the costume?
And who was who in the sketch?
So John Hamm was the guy who I was trying to get to sign the form.
Man,
have you ever had the host go, "I like your part better. Let's switch"?
Only Glenn Close.
I have.
Did that?
You have had a host take your.
What happened? What happened? Tell the whole story.
I'm sorry. I'm subtly interesting.
Everyone does Hans and Franz.
I did.
Sorry.
Actually, that's actually sort of an interesting story because it was a sketch where I played a receptionist, and I would say, "Oh, and you are, and this is regarding," and it was one of the ones that was hard to get on. I had put it through read through, and I couldn't get it on. But they thought it was kind of a funny idea. It wasn't just a straight set up punchline. It was more of an attitude. So Lauren liked that. And even Downey liked it, which helps. And I don't think Frank.
It was the receptionist you have trouble getting past.
Yeah. He stops you because he thinks they're better than you, something like that. And so Bowie was the guest as music with Tin Machine. So I wrote it with Bowie coming in, and then they sent it to his hotel. And Marcy Klein said, "Hey, Bowie wants to call you." There's a message in my little. We had mailboxes back then, and you pull it out from NBC, and it says, "David Bowie, this hotel, this fake name, call him as soon as possible." I was like, "Oh my God, did they send it to him?" I just put him in. I didn't even put it in read through, I don't think, because he wasn't there. And so I called him, and he answers, and it's fucking Bowie. And I'm like, "Hey, man." And he's like, "This is so fucking funny. It's exactly my life and these people I see." And he goes, "One tweak, can I play the receptionist?" And he goes, "That's the funnier part." And I go, "Oh, well." And he goes, I just come in as David Bowie. It's kind of boring. Everyone's seen that. It's fucking stupid." And he goes, "You could play me." And I go, "I mean, I could." And I said, "No,
You said no?
The fucking balls of this
Neil
little
Young
pussy.
asked to play the church lady, I just put my foot down. I said, Neil, I'm sorry.
that
This
crazy?
is mine, man. I love you like a brother. No, but literally you said no to him?
I
What
said
was
no.
the
And
sound?
I am the most colossal pussy. Ask anyone. And I was like, I just can't. I go, you know how it's like fucking like a character like Wayne's World or something, like you want to do it again. And he goes, yeah, okay, sure. And he was not rude. He was just like
disappointed.
Okay, well, playing myself isn't that fun, whatever. And I go, I get it. And he goes, okay, all good. And then the rest of the week I wasn't in the show, and I was like, fuck. And then I'd see Bowie, and he's like, anyway, Genie again.
Control.
And so I got, and then at Good Nights, he said, hey, sorry, man. I get what was going on, and I shouldn't have been like a little chilly.
Really?
About it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now it's like a sweet full circle.
I used to see him. I saw him. He was at my Young Comedian special in the audience when Dennis hosted, in the audience and watching. And then I saw him with Bobcat. I went to his house. So I'd seen him, I think before that, just briefly. So it wasn't too terrified. It was still weird to call him, but to shut him down. And then after that, it was just weird. And then to never go, and he goes, well, what if the sketch never gets on? I'm like, God, how do you know the show this well? It's so true. What if it doesn't get on? I'm fucking blowing it. He's like, it'll get on if I do it. I'm like,
I said it before, but I ran into him and Jagger with Dennis and Lovitz at this cafe after the show. And
there's Bowie and Jagger. Should we
Bowie
say
and
hi?
Jagger smoking a joint at the
Two biggest
Columbus
stars on
Cafe.
this planet.
And he says, we're very famous, And then Jagger kind of liked the girl who was with Dennis or whatever, but then we went downtown with Bowie to a disco type place, and
they wanted to dance.
He showed us how to plant your left foot and do a spin. So he was another one-off genius, like in his own lane, miracle of talent.
Oh, shit.
Just wanted to throw that in there for the fans.
It was like when Corey Feldman was at Cantor's, I walked right up to him.
That is basically my level of story.
I told Urkel, listen, buddy.
All right.
Sorry.
No, believe me, those things here, you know, when you're at SNL, some people come to the show, you walk by and you go, like at the 40th, I was shocked. I was saying to Dana, like, for once, I almost felt comfortable talking to people that are out of my range because they were on my turf for once. And it was like,
it is. That year was when the movie Nebraska came out, and
oh my God, I forgot about that. Congratulations! Brilliant.
Oh, thanks. I somehow got to be a part of that movie. I still have no idea how, and then got to go to the Oscars because it was nominated, and that was the same year of the 40th.
40th, yeah.
And the 40th was way cooler than the Oscars. I mean, it was like the Oscars, I feel like I have no business being there. And then, and then I'm at the 40th and I did feel a little bit of ownership, like, hey, I'm a part of this thing. And, and even, and I still, bowed down to all you guys. You guys were the ones who paved the way for all of us, down the road. So I was still so nervous around you guys. And Dana, I'll always remember this moment. We got to meet at the after party for the first time. And then we're talking for a while and somebody's playing a Prince song in the background. And I'm not really paying attention because I'm just, very excited to talk to you. And then after a while, there's like, this person is playing a couple Prince songs. And then after a while, you're realizing, oh, this isn't somebody playing a Prince song. This is Prince playing a Prince song.
That was so big.
And so we both kind of realized, oh, maybe we should go into this room because we were, 20 yards away from this ballroom where Prince had just been ripping it up for.
It was like Fallon was up
minutes.
there, and everybody got up and jammed with.
It was everywhere you look, someone was famous.
Yeah,
it was a throbbing.
Let's
gigantic...
not do +1s. Let's keep it famous.
I remember talking with Glenn Close and Sigourney Weaver, and they seemed like two nice women.
They probably feel out of place too. Because
everyone shrinks down a little bit, except if you're Paul McCartney or something. You're
no matter where you are, you're like, I'm the fucking king cup.
But I talked to Billy Crystal. Everyone seems smaller, but in the same time, if you're a veteran of it, and I hate military analogies because it's not, but in the pantheon of show business, there's that little like, oh, you were there. You know what it's like to, have cotton mouth and have to do a sketch or fall down, or the cue cards are torn in half, or someone throws up on you. So that is cool to be part of.
You could talk to anyone about SNL like we're doing. We call anybody, and when they talk, immediately, even if you weren't there with them, you go, oh, is this kind of the same way when you go back by the page test? Like, yeah, everything's the same. It's all the same. Oh, I like that. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's the same.
I mean,
it's a shorthand.
Did you have a celebrity person that you were most excited to meet over those seasons, or kind of starstruck, or just someone that was sort of a thrill to? Because I got to sit with Willie Nelson once and sing with him and have him learn a song. That was like, I remember thinking, this is a SNL type moment. This is weird. This is happening to me.
It took me several years to relax. I mean, it was very interesting coming in with Fred Armisen, because Fred was the exact opposite. He seemed just so immediately ready to perform and so excited to get up on stage. And I was just terrified from week to week, and I would enjoy it as I look back on it. But he's fantastic. But then the summers would come. He couldn't wait for the summer to end and get back to the next season.
Dude,
and I was
the
like,
grind. I get so stressed, and like July, I'm like, it's coming. And I load up. I have one sketch ready, and then I go, I'm ready this year. And I got one the week 2. I'm like, what the fuck? I have nothing. I'm so over.
Oh yeah. And you go in, you go to the final show in May, and you're like, I'm going to spend every day just like a half hour thinking up ideas. I might not even turn them into full sketches, but I'm going to come in with so many ideas. And you of course don't do any of that.
I would call Marcy and go, who's the host? Who have you booked yet? Just to get a head start.
I think it was my second season. The cast was in 8H, and we had these reporters there, like a little press conference. Do you have any new characters? And on the spot, I said, I don't, but I have a new catchphrase, which was, I got to go. And they took it serious. It was in the New York Post and stuff. Like, it was a thing. They didn't realize. And then Jan was my sidekick. Funny Little Poopy Head was my name, and her name was Mrs. Funny Little Poopy Head. And I'd go, I got to go. And she would say, and I'm going to go on with them. And they took it. They thought it was. They thought it was great.
Catchphrases are decided by the audience, basically.
I'm with you guys. I feel like it's a gathering storm in a sense, a sense of anxiety when the season's starting, and how will you do it? Never left me. I think I was pretty good the last 30 shows. I think the first 100 was still trying to get really relaxed. But I think what happens is the audience discovers you, and you get more relaxed, and it kind of builds on itself. You see it with a new cast member. Because they probably, at some point, Will, when the audience saw you come in and knew your sensibility, like by the time the Halloween thing came in, it seemed like the audience saw you and just went, oh, it's Will. We love him. I mean, it gets relaxing at that point, right?
Certainly, I think there's a point when that happens. But my point happened a little bit later, because the stuff I would write would be so weird. It would always be the stuff toward the end of the show. So it just took longer. I mean, I think there are some people after I left the show that just didn't know that I had left the show, because they had never really seen me that much in the show anyway.
Well, Dana was saying a nice compliment to you that oh, no, I'm thinking of someone else. No, he was saying a nice compliment about you, where he said, because you have sort of a different vibe. So when you go out there, first of all, what I would say is people know it's coming. So when you're doing a bit, they're like, this bit is going to go sideways in a weird way, where it's not the predictable structure, which is good. It might go zigzag where you don't see it coming. And then also he said, you remind him of a little bit of Jack Handy, which I think is a genius. I think we both do, me and Dana.
Oh my God, that's a huge compliment.
And being like, we'd see him in read through, and he's so quiet sitting in the corner, and he's kind of giggling. He's got little glasses. And then they go, impending doom or whatever. And it was some sketch, and it was so fucking bananas. And we're all like, God damn, I'm going to quit writing, because I don't even know what he's doing. Everything is funny, and it's so weird.
My first one was me and Kevin were like, there was a launch pad with a rocket, and we were the guys with the binoculars. And I'm like, okay, 10, 9, 8. And then Lassie would wander underneath the rocket. Oh, wait, hold on, And then it was Hitler. Okay, we're going. And then it was Hitler holding the Mona Lisa and Lassie. It was just, so brilliant.
So stupid.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
So you have a thing where you got a different vibe, which is good to have.
Oh man! Well, I mean,
talk about that dance you did when you were.
He
the
says
coach.
You're like Hitler, basically.
Dance. So the dance.
Like, how did you come up with how funny that dance was?
Well,
I can't even describe it.
So the dance do you guys know John Lutz? Lutz was in the show 30 Rock. He played one of the writers, John Lutz. So he was a writer on the show SNL, and then and now he writes for Seth Meyers. But he came to me and he had that song Casino Royale and said, we got to do something with this song. And I had this idea. This was also back from the Groundlings of just a coach who wanted to give a motivational speech and use something really stupid as the motivation. So we married those two together. We wrote the whole sketch. The dance was not even part of it. The dance, it was just like I was going to listen to the song for a long time. And right as we were about to do the sketch, I think it was right before the table read, he said, hey, why don't you dance during the song? Just start dancing just so people don't get bored during the song. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably a good idea. So that was a total afterthought. And then when we did it throughout the week, I'm sure you guys it was never quite, I mean, it was the idea of it we loved, but it just wasn't hitting for some reason. And Lauren even said it went well enough in dress rehearsal that he said, he put it in the show, but he did say you should cut down on the dance a little bit. And then for some reason, this was, most of the time, so many times you'll do the best version of the sketch at dress rehearsal, and then the live show will be a letdown.
Feeling. Yeah.
Sadly.
This was like one of the only times that the sketch actually was the best version, and it was just like a straight up arc, and somehow the dance the dance moves were flowing like wine and nice and crisp, and I was so excited by how it went. I went longer than I was supposed to, but I think he was fine because I was working. Just kind of felt it out.
The team was not into it. They were playing it very real and disappointed. And then your exuberance and what I refer to that as funny with the sound off. I'm sure there's other ways to put it, physical comedy.
Oh, that's cool.
Funny with the sound off means the audience is not listening for a punchline or anything. They have permission to just really laugh hard. It's the I Love Lucy and the grapes or the chocolates. And when I did Massive Head Wound Harry, the air show was the same thing with the dog. And, I'm working with an animal going crazy. And that was just the longest laugh I'd ever got because they knew what I was in. And I did not want the prosthetic to fly off because then that would be that secondary joke. And the sketch would work so well. So I was just decided to hold it. And then the dog went to town. So it was funny to sound. That's sketch too. What you were doing, dancing like that, was that kind of thing. Like I just get to really laugh.
Hang on. By the way, that dog after that sketch, Bill, I was right next to. What did I say, Bill? Will. I was right next to the stage, and the dog walked by, and he goes, "Follow that motherfucker." I go, Jesus Christ, this dog's going to be a cast member.
Well, they put more goo on the mat on the thing.
They put more dog food goo in his head.
Yeah, a very Smigely trick or something to put all this extra stuff. You'll have fun out there.
That was one of the hardest kills.
Smigel wrote that.
I'm not sure if it was maybe Schneider or Smigel. I'm not sure. Steve Korn. I don't want to say because I'm not sure if it was a group effort, but I was a participant in that as the through line, and just lucky to be in the sketch.
Oh, you were in the right fucking place.
Oh, I was. Yeah. Sometimes they just get pennies from heaven.
That was it. Yeah, it was great.
That was one of the all-time greats.
We were talking about Will, and then we went into that.
No, I love it. I love it.
All-time greats.
Any SNL talk is funny. I like it all.
My sound went out for a second. All-time what? I had a glitch. It's a Wi-Fi issue. No, it's such a mutual thing. Have you ever had people think you're weird or stuff? Because I had it once at SNL, like literally maybe slightly off or perverted or something's wrong with you.
Oh, sure, all the time. Family members.
Tell me your experience. I'll tell you my experience.
Oh, just no. I well, especially. During you already brought up that hairdo I had to have for Last Man on Earth, which I kind of did to myself. Like I thought it'd be a fun idea. So, and then I had to have it for a month. You'd be walking along it, most of the time it was such a crazy work schedule that I would just be kind of going back and forth to work. But every once in a while you got to go to the store. You got to go to
fucking Ralph's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's people already kind of thought we're were nervous by the length of the beard before I had to shave off half of it.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
people at home listening, it was
yeah.
half. It was directly down the middle of your face. One side was like long hair and a long beard, right?
Yeah. One total hairiness, like the brawny
guy.
Yeah. Well, brawny guy plus a year of hair growth. And then the other side's completely right down the middle, completely shaved, eyebrow gone.
Oh, eyebrow
gone.
too? Sick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My dad, I had sent a picture.
Okay, that seals the deal.
We shaved it on a Sunday afternoon, and everyone was warning me about the eyebrow. But then I sent a picture to my dad just to say, hey, look at that. Look what your son is looking like right now. And he said, oh, you're keeping the eyebrow, huh?
That's a great dad voice.
So I had to.
Oh, because you had to commit all the way. Oh my God.
Daddy said to shave the eyebrow. So.
I love it.
I love that. Mine's not quite like that. It was involved Steve Martin, and very quickly church lady would say penis a lot when I was doing it in the clubs, and then the censorship guy, Mr. Clockworthy, said you can't say penis so much. So then I started to write your naughty bulbous area and your willing and throbbing buttocks. And so I was in read through, and Steve Martin was 3 feet away, and I'm just digging into, and he's next to Lauren. I'm digging into the church lady because it was early days with the character, and your naughty bulbous and your wicked throbbing member is going, and I was getting into it, and I heard Steve say to Lauren under his breath, "What kind of mind thinks of this?"
Steve, one of our favorites.
Naughty and bulbous and throbbing and
pulsating.
It became really pornographic compared to just saying penis. And your engorged loaf is throbbing and willing.
Loaf.
And the censorship guy
pervert.
was, attaboy.
That is so funny that the guy who was in the friggin' Jerk and wrote I love it. How would he say that? You would think, oh, that's right up his alley.
Steve Martin,
I took it as an incredible compliment. Of course,
he's the Jerk for years. That's one of my favorite all-time movies.
He had a kindred spirit with you, with the absurdity, the weird, crazy, a man with two brains, and he was an abstractionist.
Well, so do you know what you brought up that I want to talk about is that does it fucking drive you crazy? Excuse my swearing, I'm sorry, but it really chaps my hide. That when the standards and practices would say, oh, you can't say penis that many times, but to me it's like, oh, if you can say penis once on TV, you could say penis for the entire 30 minutes. Why? What's like, if you can say a word, say it. Like for Last Man on Earth, there was a goat piss joke that Sudeikis had told, and then he improvised off the script and said goat piss again, and it like made sense for the story, but they wouldn't let us say goat piss.
That's on Fox.
A second time, just two of the word pisses, and it was fine to say piss. You just couldn't say it twice. It just drove me crazy. Yeah, that was
ours evolved that eventually, which it took a while to get on. I think Tom Hanks was the host, but it was a nudist colony, so we all were shirts off, and we were all just commenting on each other. Nice penis. Hey, looking good
nice.
today. Yeah.
I remember
thanks a lot.
That.
Nice penis. And so we said it 300 times. So eventually, Mr. Clockworthy gave up at some point.
That's your Clockworthy. I had Andrew Brewer.
Oh, Brewer was a ball buster, man.
He's always like, guys, I'm trying to be your friend here. No,
Mr. Clockworthy had Buster Brown shoes and little glasses and a bow tie.
Who was yours,
right
Will,
out of
at
Central
SNL?
Casting.
You know what? I can't remember who was. Who was the?
Because they would come right up to us and say, "Hey, Spade, I just read your weekend update. You cannot do." I'm like, "Whoa!" Start always shocked. What? No.
Yeah.
I said pussy, and then whatever. But
you put in pussy 5 or 10 times and go, okay, I'll just do 3.
Yeah, it's a classic. That was a trick. Yeah,
it's like what the politicians do. This package is going to cost $10 trillion. That's insane. All right, well, $5 trillion. Oh, it's not so much.
Oh, what a bargain.
That's pocket change.
Yeah,
but and I remember during my standards and practice practice things that I remember much more clearly from the Last Man on Earth stuff. When I was there, you couldn't have people having sex, but you could you could have people having sex, but they couldn't be moving at all. So you had
that's how I do
so you
it.
couldn't even tell. So if Kristen Shaw and I had sex, we'd have to basically say, "Oh, I'm having such great sex with you currently, right now,"
without moving much.
But then what you could do is you could do the exact same thing, but if you put it in the script, that you're having sex, then you can't really move around at all. But if you just say are engaged in foreplay, you could be doing the exact same thing, but then be moving around a little bit. It was just so maddening all the time. What the little rules are.
Yeah, prime
Fingering
time. Now you got to go to
fun.
live streaming, and there's other rules now though, because there's just a lot of sensitivity. Put it that way.
Oh man, with Peacock, they're letting us be quite risque. Quite risque.
I was about to say, I saw your trailer, and I'm like, this looks like it's going to be pretty rough on the edges.
Oh yeah, no, it is essentially they let us do whatever we wanted to do. Yeah, it's very hard.
I love it.
And
is it because you pay for Peacock and so there's like a barrier there gone?
Yeah, I guess so. Like we could never do it for NBC,
right?
But because it's their streaming service, I guess there's you can.
The fans of the movie are going to come over, and the movie was R, right? Must have been.
Yeah, the movie's super R, and so it's basically the same tone as the movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, Peacock's been awesome and really fun to work with, and none of that stuff. We're just very excited because it's kind of impossible to do this character after the movie without quite a bit of swearing and dirty scenarios.
I like Super R. That should be a new rating.
Yeah,
Super
R.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get Super R. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with that one. That's going to be fucking cool. And any other questions, or Dana? What do you got? Anything?
You got any questions for us, or anything you want to add? We never know how to wrap up.
Yeah, we're just saying you did a good hour. You were fucking entertaining, and it's good to dig deep and know more shit.
Was that? Oh man, I guess my question is, so Dana, you come down here from time to time, because I did text with Kevin Nealon last week and said, hey, we haven't hiked in a long time. We should do a hike. So if you guys would, I guess what I'll do it
with you. Hang out.
Would like to get a hike on the books.
Yeah. I just want to let you know, my resting pulse is 39. Not a joke. I hike really hard because I was in track. Now, did you run in high school, or you were a swimmer?
I didn't.
Okay.
I was a swimmer and I played football, but we didn't have a hike club, or else I probably would have joined it. But,
I was a distance runner, so I take that. But if I was doing it with you and Kevin, we would just stroll and talk.
Kevin has to hold like waters, and he holds like a camera in front of him, like a selfie stick,
with one hand.
Drone. Oh, yeah. He's barking out orders, and he's like, so tell me. And I'm like, Kevin, I can't even walk this fast. I asked him, I swear to God, can we do it in a parking lot? I go, it's just about the interview because my neck is all fucked up. I go, I don't want to go fucking Mount Everest and the Iger sanction. Let's just walk around Kmart. And he's like, no. And I go, what's the difference? Maybe tilt the camera. We think we're walking up. I don't know.
The last time he lured me up to this real poison oaky play, he said, there's a ton of poison oak. And that's the one thing that I'm very allergic to poison oak. So I had to basically wear a full body.
You don't have to make excuses. He's like, you want to go to Scorpion Junction?
No, I go where Nealon tells me to go.
Yeah, I am. Rattlesnake Hills?
By the way, that was also
where I go.
Now, Dana, David, and I got to go. I had run into Tim Meadows at we go to the same gym, and I saw him, and we got a little dinner together. And so David came. It was me and Hader and Tim Meadows and David and Molly Shannon came. And wait,
what a gang!
That was a good little mix. Fun. Yeah,
it was kind of like this, getting to talk about different eras of the show, and it was so much fun. We should do another one of those too.
That's kind of why we're doing this podcast, because it gets ridiculous when you are fans of people and people from SNL and friends that you don't see, and you wait until maybe you're at some award show or the 50th. This will, even if I don't see you between now and the 50th, I guess we're all going there. Then I'll go, well, just because of this.
It's coming up.
Which is,
I mean, it's what? It's got to be
it's 3 years or something. Away, right? What are you going to wear? I mean, full tuxedo, or what are you guys thinking? Am I going to do Garth?
Let's do it.
They better bring Vaseline and cotton swabs on that.
So did you say that Garth is
my brother Brad?
Your brother?
Yeah.
Oh,
if we
wow.
put him on the phone, he would talk like this. I used to do him in my stand-up act. Yeah, I could make a nuclear weapon with a paperclip. That's why Garth had a stun gun and all that in Wayne's World 1. That was all from Brad advising me how would Garth make a homemade stun gun, because he was kind of a MacGyver kid. Brad was.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. And
Weird,
he must be flattered by it, or does he like it? Okay.
He invented the first prototype of an at-home video editing system called the Video Toaster with a man named Tim Jennison. So we were on magazine covers together when I was doing Garth. And yeah, it's very flattering, because Garth, who wouldn't want to be Garth? That's a character that I would like to just be him or hang out with him. He's so loyal and fun. And
he got some
one of the most,
Yeah. He's just so nice.
Didn't he?
Real supportive.
He always had some pretty girl in the movie. You're like, really, Garth? And he's like,
But I remember Kristen Wiig at the 40th. She goes, why does he hold his jaw like that? And I go, because Brad does all his his anxiety,
his stress or something. That's,
I guess, but it is
because it
painful.
makes it funnier. She should know. She's fucking hilarious.
She's great. Well,
she's
the best of the best.
She is. She's certainly in the conversation. There are certain people that are so good at Saturday Night Live. There shouldn't be ratings, but it's fun to go, oh, you're number 3. I'm number 10, that are just as good as anyone's ever done it. And I would put Mr. Will Forte in that category, unless someone else comes along and does this, what I'm looking at with my.
Look at that shit.
Look at that.
Did you see the word old?
I'm going, one guy did all that. Yeah.
I can't see it anymore.
Nice to meet you, Dana. And if you ever want to do a dinner with or without Dana, let me know.
I would love that.
And I'll tell Kevin, I would like to go for a hike with you guys.
Or a dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'll talk with him, and we will get in touch with you and figure it out.
I'm here almost all the time in LA.
You hike, and then I'll meet you guys for dinner.
You guys, it is such an honor to do this with you. Thank you for wanting me to come on. You guys are
it was really fun,
freaking the best, and I could ask you so many more questions, and will
at dinner.
This might lead you to say no to this hike and dinner, but
no, it's
just a thrill.
I find everything to do with Saturday Night Live interesting, really, weirdly enough, only because, which I say many times, it's like experientially the height of what you could do on planet Earth, unless you're a Navy SEAL or something. It's just this adrenal, bizarre, live, weird show. So nothing like it. That's why Tracy Morgan, when I run into him, he goes, hey, alum. How you doing, alum? That's the way he looks at it. Part of the team. All right. Well, go about your day. Kiss your baby and your wife in what particular order, doesn't matter.
Bye, lumps.
Have fun. He just left. Okay.
All right. We did it.